The Canes have played themselves into the second-ranked team in the country and an open date as they prepare for a Friday game against the Louisville Cardinals. The Miami Dolphins have played themselves into a back-up-against-the-wall game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Of course, the big storyline, everyone says, Tua, Justin Herbert. Although those two will never be on the field at the same time, it just feels like for their whole career, they have been going head to head. Needless to say, this is an important game, honestly, for both teams. Miami Dolphins reeling after that very bad Carolina Panthers loss at 1-4. Chargers, not so good either. Losers of 2 in a row after starting the season pretty good, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams need this win to continue their hopes to possibly, and I'm using that term very loosely, possibly make it to the playoffs. The Dolphins just hoping to stop the bleeding. It's going to take good defense, or much better defense. It's going to take good quarterback play, maybe some clutch play here and there, some good play calling. It's going to take a lot. But if there's a team that wants to rebound after a very defeating, terrible loss to the Carolina Panthers, it is one Miami Dolphins. Plus, the sports world is a buzz. It's almost literally nonstop. My cousin Vladimir Lewisson joining me. I am Dan Day. Vlad, I left Duffy's Implantation at midnight, and the sports world was still going. 15-inning instant classic last night between the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers. It had everything. Walk-off. Mariners defeating the Tigers. Unbelievable baseball game. I don't even know when it ended because, like I said, I left at midnight, and that thing was still like in the 11th inning. I got home. I was like, it must be over. I'll check the scores and check the highlights tomorrow. Whew. Very exciting times. Got so much going on. No Hurricanes this week, but you got the Dolphins tomorrow. That's going to be a big one. We're going to dive into a lot of that. Inter Miami, they play tonight. Daniel Solana going to join us at 3 o'clock. Also, Argentina in town. They played last night. They're going to play again on Tuesday.
Where?
Last night, Hard Rock Stadium.
Last night was Hard Rock. Where they playing
Tuesday, Chase Stadium. It is a game against Puerto Rico that has been moved from Chicago because of civil unrest.
So they moved it from Chicago to Chase Stadium down here, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder why. No, I'm not going to wonder why. I know why.
Is there certain someone going to play this game?
Messi did not play last night.
I know.
I would hope he doesn't play. An international friendly against Puerto Rico. It's no need to play that. It's more important that he wins this MLS Cup.
No, it's not.
So you're a big advocate of playing playing exhibition games.
Country over city.
Country over city.
Country over club.
First man that says, don't let Matthew Tkachuk play in the Frozen Four.
Country over club.
So you're now saying it was okay that Matthew Tkachuk played in the Frozen Four?
Yeah, because they won the Stanley Cup.
Not Frozen Four. It was Four Nations face-off.
Yeah, because he came back and won
the
Stanley Cup.
You warned me. Don't let him play. He could get hurt. You were right about that. But now it's country over club. He's won everything with Argentina. He has not won everything with Inter Miami. Just quick note. And he's also an owner of the team. Did not play last night. Vlad thought about going to the game earlier in the week.
I did.
With that rain, man.
That was your fam. That's exactly the reason why not.
That rain has ruined my life. Like, it makes me not want to do anything.
Fam, I look outside. Alexa will give me the notification, thunderstorms expected in Pembroke Pines. Until I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm good.
Done.
I got television. I got snacks.
I'm out and about every night, and I think a lot of people have that same mentality. I don't blame them. Like, do I really want to fight the rain, get somewhere, then fight the rain back? It's like,
I don't like sitting in some place for like a period of time getting wet.
Yeah, all the outdoors events are done. Luckily, there's no Canes game tonight because it'd probably get rained out.
Next Friday, there might be.
Could be.
I don't want my Friday night ruined because of rain.
As long as they win.
Of course.
But yeah, there's a certain, pardon the pun, damper whenever it just rains. Ugh, it has been nasty. But, oh, man, so much goodness going on. Let's get it going right now. The Mariners did advance to the ALCS, defeating the Tigers 3-2 in the 15th inning last night. Tonight, it's a Game 5 between the Brewers and the Cubs. First pitch, a little after 8 o'clock. So that's going to be an exciting one right there. Cubs making a comeback. They were down 2-0 in the series, hoping to make the full comeback and win that series 3-2. Last night's game had everything. Tarek Skubal struck out 7 in a row at one point. It's a record in the postseason. and it just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And like I said, I turned it off. Well, I didn't turn it off. I was leaving.
I don't even know who Seattle's going to have to pitch game 1 tomorrow night.
Doesn't matter.
No, because they used their starters. They used everyone in that game. That was a great game. That was a real good game. Just to see the execution of pitches, the executions of seeing men on base, and then 1 out, and you seen these guys getting the job done in like some of the most stressful situations. Shout out to both squads, but Seattle moves on. Top 2 seeds of the AL facing each other tomorrow night in Rogers Center. Toronto versus Seattle, and we will see tonight. Cubs, Brewers.
You just feel as though maybe the Brewers have been holding back a little bit these 2 games. Now they know it's
I don't really feel that way.
Seems like the Cubs just try to score as much as they can in the first inning and then hold on every game. Except last week, they blew
it's
them out
just
game.
home field actually has been a factor in this series.
Major League Baseball playoffs are always electric. Speaking of electric, college football today, Missouri, Alabama, they're playing right now. Ohio State, Illinois, they're also playing right now. We're going to be keeping an eye on that as Missouri just scored, by the way. They're going to be up 7-0 very early in this game against Alabama. 26-yard touchdown reception.
You know what I started doing now? I'm starting rooting for teams that Miami played and beaten so that, they can win, and it just improves their record and their standings. Like yesterday, I was rooting for South Florida against North Texas.
South Florida just kept it going, bro.
Fam, they could have literally, if they didn't turn the ball over early in the game, they could have put 80 on them.
North Texas got up early, and I was like, uh-oh. And then, okay, South Florida's looking okay. Man, South Florida's looking pretty good.
They are.
Man, stop, South Florida.
No, that's good. That makes that win over them when they were ranked even big.
I'm not even worried about that. Mario Cristobal even said it. He says they're not playing for style points. They don't care about that. They just want to win the games.
Yeah, that's cool. But you know who cares about style points? The College Football Playoff Committee.
You know what the College Football Playoff Committee can't deny is if you go undefeated and win the ACC championship.
They've denied before.
Not going undefeated and winning the ACC championship, have they?
Well, unless the college football playoff started the year after Florida State.
It was after. Yeah, last year was the expansion
what I'm saying,
year. Last year was the expansion year.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is it's happened before.
I'm telling you, man.
It probably won't happen this year because a lot of teams have fallen have fallen already, but it's happened before.
Just keep winning. Okay, so here's the exciting part. 3:30, what looked to be a great matchup at the beginning of the season, the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma.
Still gonna be good.
Yeah, it's always fun. LSU plays South Carolina at 7:45 and 11:59.
Yeah, baby.
Hawaii, Utah State do battle.
I could Hawaii, Utah State, Jets, Bronco parlay.
Oh yeah, so you basically get done with the Hawaii, Utah State game, and then it's the pro game.
I'm parlaying them. Hard rock that, baby.
Just stay up. Stay. Where are you going? You're going to Cheetah Hollandale? You're going to Scarlets?
No, I'm going home, bro. You go home.
Oh, you don't want to watch at the club?
No, I got to work tomorrow.
Working tomorrow.
Chargers, Dolphins.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a game. I don't even know what day it is. It really feels like Friday to me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude, I gotta get up early to watch my team play, so I might as well just stay up and just get ready and go to the stadium and then
drink some Dr. Pepper. Not Dr. Pepper. Drink some Mountain Dew. It's out the fountain. They just
I don't know about all that.
Well, the U.S. men's national team tied
1-1.
Ecuador 1-1 last night. Argentina defeated Venezuela 1-0. Argentina once again back in action, Chase Stadium against Puerto Rico. That is going to be on Tuesday. I would expect tickets to not be that expensive, but then again, I've seen the advertisements for it, but then again, I'm not exactly sure.
Well, it's not like it's going to be it's only 28,000 you could fit in that Chase. Right. Yesterday was probably packed with so many Venezuelans and Argentinians at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I mean, I guess I could go back and look. I would like to see what the crowd breakdown was. If it was more, I would guess mostly Argentina. For the simple, well, Messi was there, but he wasn't playing. He was chilling, as they say. He and Antonella Rocuzzo, his lovely lady. The Panthers are 2-0 in the season after defeating the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1. The Cats host the Ottawa Senators tonight at 7:00. So no Kachuk Bowl because we know Matthew Kachuk is out, but always good to take on the Ottawa Senators. Hopefully they can get off to a 3-0 start. Panthers not missing a beat despite not having Matthew Kachuk and Alexander Barkov. So the Rat came through against the Philadelphia Flyers. Brad Marchand got the late goal to win the game. Very excited. Eric Spoelstra will be Team USA's head basketball coach. He has also once again been voted by the NBA's executives as the league's best coach. Despite all that, he has never won the NBA Coach of the Year.
That's good. You don't want to win Coach of the Year. You win Coach of the Year, you get fired.
Okay. Spo, be careful. Don't coach too well during the regular season. The Heat continue preseason tomorrow at 6 in Orlando against the Magic. The Heat are 0-3 on the preseason if you're keeping track. It doesn't really matter, I'm sure, but nonetheless. Inter Miami play their second to last MLS regular season game tonight at 7:30 against Atlanta United. It is the season finale of home games because the next game is in Nashville next week. We're going to have Daniel Solana on. Daniel Solana kind of went after Messi the other day after a loss by Inter Miami. Wasn't very happy with his, let's just say, effort in the game. We're going to have to ask him about that and see how he feels about everything going on with Inter Miami because, Vlad, a lot of interesting stuff happening with Inter Miami. This is the last dance for Sergio Busquets.
Yeah, and Jordi Alba.
Jordi Alba, yeah.
Yeah, they both announced their retirements, and it was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Your boys are retiring, yet you just got a contract extension.
So is this MLS Cup or bust for Messi and the guys this year?
Well, it's definitely MLS or bust for Busquets and Alba.
Yep. The one trophy that eludes them. Could you believe it? At the end of their illustrious career, you see Jordi Alba at a bar. I don't know. Maybe Bob's your uncle or on the rocks in my neighborhood. That's where I'll be tonight. You say, Jordi, fantastic. Loved you at Inter Miami. You won a ton in your career, but you never got that MLS Cup. He'd punch you in the face. Just saying. Someone that won't punch you in the face, Tua. He's got a bad. No, I'm saying this because he's got a bad thumb.
Great.
He's got a bad thumb, man.
He's gonna punch you in the thumb. Come on, man. Come on. That was great though.
He's got a bad thumb. Segue. Plus, you don't want to be hurting your throwing hand. He's got a bad hip, unrelated to his previous hip injuries. He's got a bad thumb, but he will play tomorrow at 1 against the Chargers. Center Aaron Brewer, questionable. Storm Duck, questionable. Ruled out. Terrell Dotson and Elijah Campbell. Terrell Dotson, of course, in the concussion protocol. Tall task for the Panthers. Oh, not the Panthers. Panthers are never in a tall task. Tall task for the Dolphins. Your only hope is Chargers are reeling, Vlad. I watched them against the Commanders, and they're not very good right now. And they have to travel across the country against a team that is eager to show that they're better than they were last week.
Right. Okay, cool. So both teams are definitely suffering injuries. So this is why this is a Herbert versus Tua matchup, because both quarterbacks are playing without their weapons. Both teams are not complete.
It's kind of an even playing field, though, don't you think?
Yeah, both offensive lines are terrible. One is both by injuries, but the quality of offensive linemen that the Chargers are missing is
quality
compared to what the Dolphins are missing. To the point where I'm literally begging for Liam Eichenberg to come back. Like that's
you guys.
Crazy. You were right.
Don't hate
you were right. You were right. It's never judge a book by its cover. And look at me now, ripping Eichenberg, now wanting him to come back to help this team.
That's what I'm saying.
The running game, Amari and Hampton, and Najee Harris out, so they had to get somebody from the practice squad. They're reeling with injuries.
They better not Rico Dowdle us. If they Rico Dowdle us, man, we're in trouble.
This is a matchup between quarterback and head coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tua versus Herbert, McDaniel versus Harbaugh.
Man, I'll tell you.
I think if you're going between coaches, I think you're taking Harbaugh and Herbert over Tua and McDaniel. So we'll see.
It's going to be interesting because I hope one or the other happens. I hope Tua balls out and the Dolphins win. What do people say then? On the other hand, Vlad, but if Justin Herbert balls out.
Tua's had the numbers.
He's got good numbers. Hey, look. I don't have a problem with his numbers. I wanted to make him offensive player of the game until that thud at the very end of the game against the Panthers. He was locked in until the lights got bright.
Well,
and I don't want to hear Jonas Avi and I got burned. They got sacked. He should have easily completed that pass to Jalen Waddle. Overthrew him by a mile.
Yeah, no, that was a terrible throw.
I can't forgive that.
But
I'm still bitter.
Look,
should I let it go?
There's a lot of things you should let go. There's a lot of missed throws. There's a lot. Listen, the team is not as. I think people need to. I think people are understanding, but I think they need to fully understand. They're not as good as you think they are, or you thought they were.
I still think tomorrow they're going to win the game.
and that's your problem.
No problem.
That's your damn problem. Every week. Oh yeah, well we could beat Carolina.
They can't
And
be this
guess
bad.
what? Carolina thinks they can beat you as well.
But they can't be this bad, can they? Oh, every week I say this. They can't be that bad.
And guess what? They can't stop a running game. So who knows what this new running back for the Chargers who's playing tomorrow? You don't know how many yards he's gonna.
I did
gain
hear yesterday on Tobin and Leroy, Anthony Weaver didn't realize how stupid something he said was, and then Leroy caught him. He goes, "Look, they got like 200 yards on just 4 big runs. If you take that away, the defense was pretty good."
Dumb.
Oh, why would you say that?
Because they're reeling right now,
to say the least.
So there's like, dude, I look forward to their press conferences just to hear the goofiness they're gonna say now. Almost every week, Tua was saying something that's like, really? I mean, you're being honest, but that's not the honesty that they want. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to hear from Tua in the next segment.
And then Mike McDaniel, who knows? I mean, for 4 years, but the first 2 years, y'all were winning, scoring points. It was fun. Now it's like, oh, turn them off. It's done. Yo, fam. You ever get to the point in a relationship where you and your girl, you just like, like y'all still love each other, but you know, your mere presence just annoys you. That's where the Dolphin fans are with the team right now, especially McDaniel, Greer, and Tua. They don't wish them any ill. They gave them great moments, but their presence right now is just disgusting.
It was sickening what happened Sunday, that you're up 17-0, that then you got run all over by a bad team. You forgot Darren Waller was on your team. You still had a chance to win the game. Didn't do it. Then you punt the ball back to the team, let them take destiny into their own hands. Pass interference by Jack Jones, who had so many pass interferences that could have been called. The refs took pity on him and didn't call all of them. And you lost the game to a bad Carolina Panthers team. A Carolina Panthers team that
Stop saying that Carolina is bad when you're not good.
I can say that teams are bad, even though my team's not good right now.
But when you're saying that they're bad, you're acting like you're better than them, and you're not.
No, I didn't say that.
But that's what the implication to me is when you're saying to a bad. Guess what? You're 1-3. You both had the same record. So the way you're looking at Carolina is the same way Carolina looks at you.
I understand.
And it's the same way every team is going to look at you.
I understand.
So that's what I'm saying. I
think every team in the league looks at the Dolphins as a W. I think the Saints right now, as a Saints fan, I'm looking at like, man, that might be the game to go to because that might be our second or third win of the season.
So,
but once again, it's a crazy league, Vlad. Saints roll the Giants. And what do the Giants do on a short week? Roll the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. It's crazy.
Right. No, this has been a crazy NFL season. But the one constant has been people were saying the Dolphins weren't going to be good before the season.
Weren't going to be good.
Right. And they haven't.
No, they have not.
And I think the fan base has realized it or be starting to realize it or halfway realize it, and they need to fully accept it.
I'm just saying, one more game. Let's see what happens with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's what I heard last week.
I know.
Oh, you know what? Hey, maybe we beat Carolina. We could get 2 in a row, and then that Charger game, because they're going through injuries, maybe we'll be 500. Who knows? Stop.
Easily.
Stop.
Yeah. What happens is I hate when people used to do that. You know, if we would have made that field goal and they wouldn't have scored 3 touchdowns and then this and this, I'm like, well, that's football. You can't take away what happened. Can't take away this from Las Vegas Aces. They have won their 3rd NBA championship in 4 years, sweeping the Phoenix Mercury in 4 games, winning last night 97-86. Asia Wilson is your WNBA Finals MVP. Bam Adebayo is out there celebrating.
That was crazy, right? He took a red eye?
I'm guessing because today I was told that he is out there celebrating with the team.
And then he don't play again to win?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, all right, he'll be back.
Yeah. Asia Wilson was balling, though.
Dude, she had this whole playoff, she just solidified she might be the greatest WNBA player of all time.
Could be.
Maybe the greatest woman basketball player of all time.
Could be.
Like, and that game win on game 3 was hysterical. The internet, man.
Internet.
You know why, right?
No, I don't
so
know.
The picture the game winner she hit in game 3 was over Dewana Bronner and Alicia Thomas of the Phoenix Mercury.
Yep.
Who are 2 great players, but they also happen to be married. So when she hit a game shot, it was like, damn, she hit. You're vicious when you hit a game winner over a married couple. Now they got to go home and talk about it. How you gonna let her shoot that game winner over me? Yeah, it was nasty business. But congratulations to Becky Hammond, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Chancey Young, Jackie Young, all of them. Man, that was a great performance by the Las Vegas Aces. 3 out of 4, bro.
Yeah. And last night was a no doubter. I even said it when I was leaving here on the air. I said, if you're going to bet a game, just bet that Mercury have no chance. And they had no chance last night. UAB tonight at 6. Well, FIU, they play Western Kentucky Tuesday at 8. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step in the day spa. Vlad, there's a new trend.
What's that?
School teachers.
What about them?
Turning into OnlyFans models.
Yes.
To supplement their income.
Absolutely.
We got to pay our teachers more, man.
We should.
And then what they do in their spare time, that's their time. Pay teachers more. And then what they do, I'll support a teacher. I'm just saying.
They could learn me.
Next time you go on OnlyFans, that may be a school teacher that you are supporting. So
she can learn me. She can teach me.
Get that ruler out. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely best believe.
Tua Tagovailoa. People have been talking about him. He ain't hearing that chitter chatter. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll discuss that next here on 104.3 FM WQAM. So the Dolphins in a back against the wall, make or break type of game against the Los Angeles Chargers tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Our pregame going to start at 9 o'clock with Brendan Tobin and Alejandro Solana. Going to have a little post-game for you action starting at around 4 o'clock, pretty much when the game ends. Last post-game, I was a little fired up. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, man.
Yes.
I got to give you props, bro. I'm going to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
That was good.
It was fun.
That was good.
It was angry, but it was
I listened. It was some angry callers, but you let them vent, and
it was rightfully so.
And you put the proper dose of sazon to make it, to like really make it more tasteful and flavorful. Yeah, they were going in, bro. They were going in, and rightfully so. I think all the callers brought it. They were passionate. They were informative.
They were,
and I would have to say you and Trevor did a great job on this past Sunday's game day uncensored post game.
I'll give the Dolphins fans and callers a lot of credit. There were no morons that came in and said something absolutely just crazy. I came on the show, and some people hear what they want to hear, and I said everyone is on the hook for this loss. Mike McDaniel, the punt, terrible. Tua Tagovailoa, that overthrow to Jalen Waddle and not making a run, terrible.
I watched the game over again. I don't know about not going for it on that 4th and 17. You got a noodle arm for a quarterback. He might not get that ball in. And then with I get your point, right? But they were in Carolina's zone. They were in Carolina's area. The way they're not stopping them, they're going to score. They scored. They're not going to hold them to a field goal. If you can't even hold them to 3 downs, what makes you think you're going to hold them to a field goal?
Once again, so you're punting it and trusting statistically, if not the worst, the second worst defense that hasn't been able to stop a nosebleed all game.
And what was bad was the play calling, those 3 play calls to lead to the punt.
That second down was a pretty good play call, just to a airmailed Waddle.
But I get, but you know what?
I blame everybody.
Hindsight is 2020. But at that time, when you were talking to the callers, I agree with you.
I blame everybody, but a lot of people are putting the blame on Tua and saying this team sucks because of Tua. I don't think he deserves all the blame. I actually think everyone deserves a lot of the blame.
They all do, but it's the 3, bro. It's the big 3s: GM, head coach, and QB. GM, HC, QB. Those are the 2 guys that get all, they get the love, they get the praise behind the scenes, in the talk shows, in the the sports program, the TV sports program, they get it, and they're gonna get all the blame. And unfortunately, bro, you saw this happening last year. You and I talked about it. We said this is not really leading into anything but mediocrity. That's what you've been stuck at. And we said, okay, fine. There was one season you could F up the church's money. It would have been last season. But this year, when all the contracts extensions kick in, there's no churning back. There's no, we got to build a culture, all of that. When you started hearing that wasn't good for a team that just extended these guys. Like, what happened those previous 3 seasons that you need to start building a culture? When you started hearing all of that, this is what you should have expected from the season so far in the first 5 games.
So Tua has gotten a lot of the blame, and you know what? That's part of the job. That comes with the territory. But Tua was recently asked this week, with all the chatter about him and all the noise and all the blame, is he hearing all of the talk?
One of the things that McDaniel praised you for earlier today is your ability to tune out the noise, right? Both positive and negative. Obviously that's easier said than done. How have you been able to do that, and has it grown a little bit more difficult this year with the losses?
Yeah, I would say it hasn't been as difficult this year, just because, as I've said in prior interviews, I'm not on social media. Like, I don't have any of that. And then outside of that, like, I go home, I see my kids, whether I throw 5 picks or 5 touchdowns, we win the game, we lose the game, I get to come home to my kids who are happy to see me every time.
So I have no problem with kind of what Tua said right there. I would have liked him going a little bit further and said, look, it's been a tough year and we hate to lose. This sucks. And I understand why people are chattering. But at the end of the day, it is still a game and it is still important. It is still my job. But I get to go home to my kids and not just say, hey, lose, go home to kids. And I understand it is a game, but I would like to have a little more empathy from Tua right there for a fan base that is really, really struggling right now with not winning a playoff game in 25 years. Vlad, could he have gone a little bit further and just said, well, I don't hear all the chatter, but I do know it sucks, man.
All right. I said this earlier when I heard the cut when we played this week. It's not what the fan base wants to hear. Sometimes the fan base, when they're in pain like this, you want to feel like the players are in pain, so that they're
Right.
you both are sharing this, this anger. Like it means as much to you as it does to the fans. And when you hear your quarterback, and that's just his nature, that's not what you want to hear. This is what I'm saying from the fan base. You don't want to hear that. Like, no, because in their mind, you know what the first thing they start doing? They start pocket watching. And
Of
it's
course.
like, oh yeah, you making 53 million, and then you're going on, you live in a great house and you're going home, and you don't care. You got 165 million guaranteed. That's all good. That's what the fan is going to think. Meanwhile, the players just look, I can't take all of this pain and losing. At some point, I got to let it go. When I get into the house, being with my children, being with my family is my outlet. I get that. But at 1-4 and after a tough loss to Carolina, not the message that the fans want to hear.
Exactly. This is what the fan base wants to hear. Yeah, it sucks. And I understand why people are saying things. I'm going to go out there and do my darndest to make sure that we're saying good things. But at the end of the day, you have to understand it's as hard on us as it is on you. But I get to go home to my kids like everyone else. Go home, relax with your family, have a good time. That's what the fan base wants to hear. This is what the player really wants to say. Why don't y'all shut up and let me do my job? I'm going to go home to my kids, and I'm going to not have to worry about you. You know who I am. I don't know who you are. So just leave me alone. Show up at the games. Cheer us on. Be positive. Somewhere in between, you get, pretty good at blocking things out. And it's his demeanor of kind of sounding nonchalant. But, I mean, it didn't come off bad. But like I said, you could have done more. Like I said, Tua, you didn't lose that game. I'm not saying it's your fault, although you could have done more. Mike McDaniel, I'm not saying it's your fault, although you could have done more. Defense, I'm not saying it's your fault, although you could have done more. Anthony Weaver, I'm not saying it's your fault, although you could have done more. I'm sure Tua hears it. I'm sure all the players hear it and feel it, Vlad. I'm sure they shut out as much as they can, but you can only shut out so much. They watch TV. They listen to Odyssey. They have friends. You don't think friends come in and say,
dude, if they're not listening, you know who's getting harassed? Your family, your friends are getting harassed.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think a friend comes in like to come, maybe work out, train with you, or just watch a movie and be like, dang, man, they are roasting you.
Dude, what did you do, bro? Like, they are frying your ass right now. They want you traded. Like, you got that guy that's gonna tell you what,
of course,
what the Stephen A's and all these people are saying, because you want to know, no matter what, there's not too many that are not going to be offended by some comment. We can read 100 comments. 99 of them could be great. Dan, Vlad, you two are the best.
The one that
you guys should be on the air and more this, that, and the other. One stupid comment by somebody like, Dan, you stink, or Vlad, you're not knowledge out, and then that's the guy you want to go in, or the person you want to go in on, not the 99 that gave you love. It's weird. That's how we are.
It's human nature.
That's how we built.
It's funny though. You would think, like most athletes, and even myself as a human being, I've built up a callus. And when someone sends a nasty message or someone tells me something kind of nasty, you think by this time in my life, after 20, how many years has it been? 26 years in broadcasting, it would roll off my back. No problem. It still stings, Vlad. It still stings. And if you think Mike McDaniel and Tua, it doesn't sting just a little bit when people go in on them and they hear about it, it still stings.
Definitely for Tua, because Tua looks like he can't, you can't criticize him. He was able. I really want to look at his report card when he was young to see if he was able to accept criticism, because I know I feel that when I was young. So because you can't tell him anything,
yeah,
and he's gonna be like, "What? Huh? Huh?
I mean, I agree with the
He
whole
jumps. He jumps at it.
stay off the internet. You know,
That's great, but here's the thing, though: you can stay off the internet, but
can't
the
stay
media, you can't stay away from the media as
Yeah.
as your job as the starting quarterback. So therefore, when they have questions to ask you, you're gonna have to answer it.
Wasn't it Mitch Trubisky when he was quarterback for the Bears at one point? Had everyone in the organization turn off TVs when he was entering the building because he didn't want to see the criticism. That's tough, man. But Tua hears it. And, you know, I think that's a mechanism. You know, I just go home, go to my kids with stuff like that. And he makes it sound like he just totally tunes it out, but he doesn't. This team knows where they're at, Vlad. They know they're 1-4. They know they've got a big task this week. And they know someone's coming to town that they are directly tied to. Should be fun. 1:00 tomorrow. But yeah, let everybody know it's okay to say, yeah, I know it's tough, man. And there's always going to be chatter, and that comes with the territory, and it sucks. And then go to my kids, and I get away. And then make yourself like the everyday man. Say, like everyone else, some days you have bad days at the office. Mine's a little more magnified. But like most people, I go home like them and go home to my family or go home to my dog, and I just release. That's okay. But then again, when you're 1-4, everything you say gets magnified.
And then
if we're 4-1,
it starts solidifying the narrative that you're soft, like when you're not able to take criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't hold you. Like what he said to Omar after that what was it, the New England game, when he had multiple turnovers, and he was like, what? Like he felt offended. And I was like, hey, bro, this is an actual fact. Like, when you turn the ball over, it comes in bunches. It's not like one and it's over. There's going to be another turnover if you turn the ball already. And he got all offended by that. Just some of his comments this year. Well, I want to wait to see who's going to come to the facilities on their off day on Tuesday. All right, cool. But remember when it's weird, because those are the same things Flores was saying, like, this guy wants to play golf on his off days. Now you want, like, some of the things that you were upset about is what you need right now. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely what's needed for this team. This team needs an authoritative voice who can get them, like, disciplined, focus. They need somebody on their ass pretty much. Yeah. They need somebody on their helmet every day. That's what they do. And they had that, and they were winning, and then they didn't like the way he was being told. And guess what, buddy? Your man's is about to go. He's on that form, and he is cooked. Like, I'm talking about cooked. Okay? He's about to go, and he's the only guy that really had your back. So therefore, if you don't play hard for McDaniel, you may not be a starting quarterback in this league, because I don't know many coaching or general managers or teams that really gonna,
that want an injury-prone, soft-armed,
concussed, bad hip, no forward mobility,
that gets caught up in their feelings quarterback for $50 million a year,
that can't win in the cold.
Can't beat winning teams either, although he might change that tomorrow. Yeah, that's not an impressive resume, Vlad. That's not an impressive resume. But once again, what Tua said, what's the glaring big difference between what Tua said at 1-4 or if he'd have said the exact same thing at 4-1? The glaring difference is you're 1-4. It's cool when you're 4-1 saying, yeah, I block out everything. I go home and I'd rather be with my kids. You say, oh, that's cool, man.
But you know what?
He prioritizes that. But you're 1-4. It's like, what are you doing here?
This is what bothers me about the season, right?
I got a lot of things so far.
Right. And then we got to go to break and we'll come back, but I'll continue. What bothered me about the season is that, all right, the team is already considered mid, right? But then everybody else that was assumed to be so much better than them has taken a significant fall to the point where, guess what? If you improve from what you did last season, people would have a better, I would say, better opinion. They would have more hope. That's what happens here. Remember that 4-letter word I tell you, hope? Dolphins took the hope away from the fan base. And that's because the fan base is seeing Buffalo ain't really all that. But they own you, but cool. You played them very well. So Kansas City's, it could be the beginning of the start of the slide after this dynastic run that they had. Baltimore is going through injuries. Cincinnati Burrows out for the year. Chargers are
possible.
going through the injuries. Broncos you don't really know about. Are you really sure about Trevor Lawrence and the Jags?
Look, the Philadelphia Eagles have lost 2 games in 1 week.
And Indianapolis Colts, how long is this Indiana Jones and the Taylor of Doom run going to go?
Never know.
You don't know.
It's still early in the season.
Guess what? If you looked at this team with the talent that they had and they didn't start 1-4, if they were 4-1 or 3-2, you would have been like, well, look, not everybody's as strong. There's some continuity. There's, these guys have been together. The young guys are proving, showing. None of that's happening.
Not yet.
None of them. There is not something you can point at and say, except for Devon Achane. Other than Devon Achane and Darren Waller, but that Darren Waller came, week 4? The last 2 weeks? There's nothing good to talk about this team.
Everyone's still kind of figuring out who they are, and the Dolphins need to figure it out real fast, or else this season will be really, really, really bad. Gonna come back, do some what I like. Hear from Mike McDaniel. Maybe Mike McDaniel has some positive words for us that we'll like. That's next on Sports Day 104.3 FM WQAM. Let's do some real quick what I like, some of the things that we've liked over the 24-48 and basically the past week here in South Florida sports world. Mike McDaniel, always talking, was recently asked about Tua Tagovailoa and how he stacks up against some of the other great AFC quarterbacks. And Mike McDaniel basically saying he understands the stakes, but Tua needs to understand it's a tough world.
I think it's one of the reasons I focus on how he grows as a quarterback in the micro instances that I think are so difficult as a franchise quarterback in the National Football League. If you're uncomfortable with the stakes of the game, it's not a game for you. You're not going to change the stakes.
There you go. The standard is the standard. Mike McDaniel saying, look, it's too hot. Get out the kitchen. Letting Tua know. Now, everybody's talking about it being Tua, Herbert. We all know why. Mike McDaniel saying, it's not so much Tua versus Herbert.
I think firmly, directly in front of the team, all parties will be specifically instructed that all of those things are don't exist. To the end of having a team win that is achieved through connected technique fundamentals and just really group play. So I think that, such is the nature of the NFL season. I think any and all things that don't have to do with your contribution to the team and how, where your mind needs to be. Your mind needs to be on what you have to perform and the details of that, and you let the results fall into place after that, because you can't control anything but your input for that output that you desire.
So, Vlad, it is, of course, not just Tua versus Justin Herbert, but it is a good storyline, you have to admit.
Well, the quarterback's always a storyline.
Right.
And the fact that they were in the same draft, so that's going to...
The fact that they went 5-6.
Right, and then the fact that...
the Dolphins could have taken either one.
And the fact that the Dolphins wanted Jim Harbaugh at the time. Before they made the move to Mike McDaniel. There's a lot of interlying, storylines in this matchup. But it's always going to be the quarterbacks, because the quarterbacks are the face of the franchise. So,
right, it's a fun storyline, and every game has multiple storylines. But yeah, it's not just Tua versus Justin Herbert, because, like I said, you'll never see them quote unquote on the field of play at the same time.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that's what we've always done. It's never been.
Yeah.
It's always the quarterback versus quarterback. That's why it's always funny to me, because, like, in the NBA, you could say superstar versus superstar, and there's a chance that they're going to have to guard each other.
Oh, for sure. Or even baseball.
Not even baseball.
Yeah, because the batter and the pitcher and stuff.
Right, but it was last year's World Series was Shohei versus Judge, and Shohei wasn't pitching.
Right, I understand that.
But what they do when they're the two biggest names, the two stars, they're going to compare them. That's because, you know why? That's easy for you to make a storyline the following day.
But do you think a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick is like, ooh, Tua versus Herbert? No, he's worried about.
No, he's just worrying about Justin Herbert and the other 10 players on the on the LA Chargers offense, and vice versa. But still us media people, us the fans, we need to talk about it, and that's what they're gonna do. It's easy to sell.
You think tonight too is like, before he goes to bed, good Lord, please let me play to my highest potential tomorrow. And if you could, don't let Justin Herbert go off. Because if Justin Herbert goes off and the Chargers whoop the Dolphins in their house, it is going to be a rough.
Well, here's a great question while we go to break. How packed is the house going to be tomorrow?
And that's going to be, I'm scared to say, Vlad. You'll be there. You'll report to us. I'm scared to say.
It wasn't packed for the Patriots, and it wasn't packed for the Jets. And you're talking about two of your divisional foes who have fan bases down here that usually pack the stadium when they come to town.
A fan base that has called me and also told me personally that a lot of them have said they've checked out on the season. They've sold their season tickets.
I heard somebody from LA try to sell his season tickets and couldn't get somebody to bite on the Jets ticket. So he took a loss on that, and he's willing to give away his tickets. So tomorrow I'm going to be very interested to see how many Aqua seats I see tomorrow.
I'll tell you, the fan base is frustrated, but how does Stephen Ross feel? We'll find out next here on Sports Day, 1043 FM WQAM. Not going to lie to you, as the game proceeded and as the game ended against the Carolina Panthers for the Miami Dolphins, I went through the gamut of emotions.
The gamut, huh?
The gamut, man. I went through anger, furious, by the way, with some of the play calling and some of the plays that were made.
Okay.
I went through frustration. That you did not, what would be the word? Adapt to the game. The other team adapted very well. They realized Bryce Young is hot garbage. Get it out of his hands.
Basura.
He is single-handedly going to lose this game for us. So what did they do? Take the ball out of his hand. Run the ball. Nonetheless, frustrated. And I was scared for a little while.
Why were you scared?
Because I'm starting to think this Dolphins team has fundamental problems. Not, oh, lucky bounce here, unlucky bounce here, bad call here, bad call there. Fundamentally, they might have some very serious problems, like their defense is a motley crew of bargain basement free agents.
But this is why I was laughing at you guys. You guys were really trying to sell me on that. This is going to be a great. And I'm like, I don't know about your front seven. I don't know about your front seven. You're like, oh, come on. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of question marks about your front seven. And that was supposed to be the strength of your roster. And it's become
but more fundamentally problems.
Turtle food.
Fundamental problems. The defense in general, a motley crew of bargain basement players. Your quarterback seems like when the lights turn on and get really bright, he fades away. The head coach makes some questionable calls and still in this year, after years, has problems adapting and adjusting in games. That's why I was a little bit scared that maybe this team is fundamentally flawed. Then I kind of went through agony and then just kind of like acceptance, like this is painful and it might remain painful. And then I went through the optimistic phase of you're never as bad as your worst game. You're never as good as your best game. And now I'm kind of like, wait and see. We'll see what happens tomorrow against the Chargers. Mike McDaniel, though, he definitely feels it. He definitely hears it. Stephen Ross has to know something is going on with this team. Mike McDaniel said he sits down with Stephen Ross after every single game. But Mike McDaniel doesn't mince his words very much in explaining how Stephen Ross is feeling right now.
Yeah, he was really frustrated at the, just like he's as I was, and we talked about the challenge ahead to get ready for the Chargers, and that was kind of the extent of it.
Kind of the extent of Stephen Ross is frustrated. Vlad, this is another thing that I really worry about, and I talked about this. I think Stephen Ross is frustrated because he's tried everything. He's tried the blow it up, tank, didn't work. He's tried the open up the wallet, get as much free agency star power as you can get, throw money at the problem. That didn't work. This year, he's tried we're going to have the team mentality with leaders and toughness, and if you're not on board, get the hell out of here. That doesn't seem to work. We tried the star quarterback. He's going to change everything with his great wide receivers. We're going to offense you out of the stadium. That didn't work. Tried the defensive thing. Be tough on the guys. Be mean. Be nasty. That didn't work. Vlad, what do you do with an employee that you give multiple chances to and they try everything and it just doesn't work? What do you do to that employee?
You fire him.
Chris Greer has tried everything.
Has he?
Everything. Not saying he's done it right or done it well, obviously, but it's not for lack of trying. So now you have to start looking, well, you've tried everything and it hasn't worked. What do we do now?
Crazy.
Omar Kelly's texting me right now. Ross hasn't blown it up at all. I'm talking about back with the tank a couple of years back.
Well, he might be want a tank, but what's his name didn't want a
Brian
tank?
Flores didn't want a tank.
Nah, Flo wasn't going for that.
No. Well, which is fine. I mean, I understand organizationally.
Sometimes guys just like making money, don't want to be in the forefront, and that's what he wanted to do. But guess what? He's got to be in the forefront. You got to fire.
They've tried everything.
I don't want a brother lose his job, but Chris Greer got to lose his job. I'm sorry, bro. It's just ridiculous. You can't, and I don't want somebody telling me I'm not the one that made some of this. Yo, fam, you get paid to be a general manager.
Right. Okay. More so in terminology, blow it up would mean get rid of general manager, clean house. So no, they did the tanking. So I apologize for the blowing up statement, but they tried the whole tanking thing and it didn't work. They've tried being tough. They've tried being finesse. They've tried throwing money. They've tried free agents. They've tried so many things.
And nothing.
It has not resulted in a playoff win.
Diddly squat. I just want to say diddly squat.
Diddly squat. I understand. Man, you just look at everything they've tried and it hasn't worked, and you start wondering, well, maybe there's something wrong. That's why I get scared sometimes that something might be fundamentally wrong with this team and how it's built and who's building it. And
no, because here's the thing, right? If you have a stable front office, you know where all the blame and all the credit go to. So if we're going to go Philadelphia, let's use Philadelphia, the Eagles example, right? For example, win or lose, you know, it's Howie. And we all know by his MO, Howie's not going to stay pat. Even if they win, he's not going to just stay like, oh, all right, I got the team. He's always going to do something to, pick and prod, insert, delete, just to make the team better than they were the season prior, even if they won the Super Bowl. Same thing with Kansas City with Brett Veach. Same thing with Baltimore with Ozzie. Like, there's guys that San Francisco, John Lynch, that they work together. Even if they don't agree, they work together with the head coach and the general manager. And you see the continuity. Brett Veach and Andy Reid. Andy Reid's been in Kansas City for such a long time. John Harbaugh's been in Baltimore such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Rams, Sean McVay and Les Snead. I said the Niners.
I mean, you always know that Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those organizations,
right? But they've only had 3 head coaches, and trust me, if you got hired by the Rooney family to be the general manager, that was a team decision. So you got you got full power, full responsibility. Down here, when I hear Chris Greer saying like he wasn't really the guy making a lot of decisions, what the hell you do? Yo, so what are you doing here for? What's going on here? Because you're the one who signed these free agents that come banged up free agents. Like, you don't do your car wreck, or if you do, you just put a blindfold on. You sign guys that already banged up, and then when they get here, they get more banged up. You sign guys who are just looking for the tax break, one big check, I'm good. And then the guys that you do have, right, that are good, that want to work, you don't want to pay them the money anymore. Nasty work.
It's organizationally flawed. Now, you can turn it around. We saw the Florida Panthers do that. An organization that, much like the Dolphins, had a lot of guys seem like they come here to retire, hurt, fan base, turn it around. But how did the Panthers turn it around? Let's use them as the model of how do you turn around an organization that is flawed to an organization that is almost flawless. What do they do?
You're gonna have ups and downs,
but what do the Panthers do to try to change their whole perception and how they
kept the MO and they just kept on fighting through and just going about their business, going about their business.
They hired Bill Zito.
Let me tell you something about people. Going about your business, whether things are good or bad, means a lot. Okay, I'll give you a good case for example. Shannon Sharp, right?
What about him?
Shannon lost a lot with that OnlyFan, that thing that happened with the OnlyFan model, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point he lost ESPN. He probably lost 9 figures, the whole 9. You know what Shannon Sharp did to still be in the public's eye and relevant and still be relevant? He kept working. He went about his business. To the point people started going, damn, Nightcap had another great interview. Damn, Club Shay Shay had another interview. He might have lost the money, but he didn't lose his relevancy. He didn't lose working. Just keep working. If you work and you put out the good product, or you put out good interviews and everything, people are going to forget. They might mention it because we all like to crack jokes because that's a stain, or we would like to consider a stain. But if you continue working, and get the results, people will forget. That's what fan base is trying to do with the Dolphins. If they would just keep working, get the wins, people will start forgetting about that. But they haven't done that. You get your ass kicked by Indy, then you lose a tough one to New England, then you lose a tough one to Buffalo, and then you get one by the Jets, but you gave up over 200 yards rushing, and then you got a 17-0 lead, and then you lose to the Carolina Panthers. Nothing. You're working, and your work has just been more futility, more losing. That's the problem. And when you see that, and you see that from last year, the fan base want a wash, a clean wash, a power. You know what? They want a power wash, bro. They want a power wash. Wipe out the head coach, wipe out the quarterback, wipe out the general manager.
You know, I want to hear from somebody else. I want to hear a different point of view. I want to hear what Omar Kelly has to say. Because Omar Kelly, he's followed this team for a long time. And if anybody knows the Dolphins and maybe has a solution for what seems to be going on with this Dolphins team, it's Omar Kelly. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to try to get Omar Kelly on from the Miami Herald in just a few moments. You do not want to miss this. Stay right there. This is Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM. It is tight times for the Miami Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, possibly Chris Greer, Stephen Ross. Fan base not very happy. So I decided, why not? Let's bring him in. The man, the myth, the legend from the Miami Herald, Omar Kelly. Omar Kelly, I was talking about it earlier. It seems like Chris Greer and Stephen Ross have tried everything outside of blowing it up, because blowing it up would mean total revamping everything. They've tried the tank, they've tried the toughness, they've tried the finesse, they've tried everything. What's going on with these Miami Dolphins? Break it down for us.
One, if you want to be real about the situation, Steve Ross does not like the hiring, employee searching process of this thing. If you go back in history and you think about his pursuit of Jim Harbaugh, who he's going to face here while he still had a head coach. If you consider the hiring of Dennis Hickey and then realizing that Dennis Hickey was incapable of doing the things that you needed him to do when the NFL was moving to the analytics realm, and then having to hire Mike Tannenbaum as his overlord. If you consider the hiring of Joe Philbin, which clearly he was not a head coach. If you consider the Adam Gase and the Jeff Ireland and every process that he's ever gone through, including some where his first candidate didn't want to go be with him, has been a very painful process. And so what he's got, pursuit of Sean Payton and not ending up with Payton. So he's not very fond of this process. But the one thing I do respect his decision to let this play itself out. Let it play itself out. Let it bottom out. While most of us suspected it wouldn't work, have we given it our all to see if this process is going to work? And truthfully speaking, we hadn't. But now that we have and we're doing it, and we see that the results aren't favorable, it might be time to move on. But I will say this: they still have a chance to turn the season around. It starts with beating the Chargers,
Omar.
and then you got to beat the Browns. Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Omar.
It's possible.
Omar.
Yes.
This team was mid before the season started.
I know.
They're below mid now. And what here's the if this team was 4-1 and all these other teams like the Baltimores, Kansas Cities, the teams that we always put ahead of them, if we saw them falling down and then this team was somewhat good, you'd be like, okay, maybe this is the year, this is the chance.
Cincinnati,
right?
Baltimore. I mean, keep in mind, we're having a year last year like Cincinnati and Baltimore having this year. I mean, it's not a given that you're going to be healthy and hot and your offensive line's going to stay all together. It's not a given. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process, and you got to let it play out. But unfortunately, this rebuild is broken. It's not going to work. And we're pretty clear and evident, because I will argue to you that this is probably the most flawed roster that I've seen on the Dolphins since probably 2007. But then again, I also haven't seen it without the right side of its offensive line. So, maybe things change with James Daniels and Austin Jackson, but maybe it doesn't. The point I'm making is it's not too late for them to save the season. They could easily go on a 4-game winning streak and reset the terms of the season.
And they easily can go on a 4-game losing streak.
You're correct.
It's more likely that they'll go on a 4-game losing streak than it is for them to go on a 4-game winning streak.
That's true. I cannot deny that.
But I'm with you, Omar. I believe that you could turn your season around, but what are some of the things that Mike McDaniel and this team has to do to help turn this season around? Because right now we're kind of at a low point.
They have to better at the trenches. You have to stop the run. You have to run the ball effectively. Those are two things that they have not been able to do so far. Well, they were able to run the ball up until last week, and that was bad. That was colossally bad and embarrassingly bad. And we'll see if they can rebound and come back from that. But in terms of stopping the run, they haven't been able to do that all season. And I don't know if there's a fix or a solution that's on the recipe on the roster. And until there is, you're just going to bleed out.
Omar,
if we're going to be real about it.
We're talking to Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald. Talking some Dolphins football here. Omar, let me ask you a question, bro. I wasn't one who was before the season that was all going crazy for the front seven, but that was expected to be the strength of this Dolphins roster because the secondary was banged up, hurt, and had no experience.
Yes.
Why hasn't this front seven lived up to the expectations that they had prior to the season? Because I could make some cases that as bad as the secondary play, they're holding their own considering with all the injuries and
and they're not being embarrassed.
Inexperienced. They're not being embarrassed, but you know who's being embarrassed? That front seven.
Yeah. Here, when you talk to defensive coordinators, they all say the exact same thing. I've been doing this for 20 years, and there isn't a defensive coordinator who says our number one priority is to stop the run. And imagine if your number one priority for everybody for 2 decades, if not more, is to stop the run, and you can't stop the run as a team, you can't do anything. You can't pressure the quarterback because on third downs, you're in run pass situations. You can't have effective red zone defense because teams could just continue to run it till they punch it in. And right now, I'm never too critical of rookies. I don't even you can't find an article where I have written something critical of Jonas Savanaugh and Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips because I understand the challenges that they face as rookies. You don't know what you don't know until you learn it. And like last week, the Carolina Panthers are doubling Kenneth Grant and driving him a bazillion yards off the ball and just running through it. And, and Anthony Weaver is blitzing. He's people are like, oh, you've run the most, you've called the most blitzes in the NFL. And he's like, yeah, most of those are run blitzes. He is literally blitzing gaps to stop the run. And it's still not working because when you're blitzing gaps to stop the run, then you're leaving yourself vulnerable somewhere else. Some other person is not doing their job. And so when you're at that point and you can't stop the run and there's nothing that you could do about it, you can't pressure the quarterback. You can't get turnovers. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Oh, Omar Kelly has been following the Miami Dolphins for how many years? I mean, whether it be with the Sun Sentinel, whether it be with Miami Herald or any other outlet. How long have you been following this team closely?
2007, the 1-15 season. Greg Camarillo, appreciate you, was my first year.
Oh my God, 18 years.
Yeah.
19 seasons.
Mean, you speak for a Dolphins Nation. What has frustrated you the most so far this season with this incarnation of the Miami Dolphins?
Just how poorly the roster has been built.
Yeah.
And my realization, awareness, understanding that the person who built it is quite incompetent and does not know what he's doing.
But Omar, if you know that and the fan base knows that, why doesn't Boss Ross know that? And I don't want, and I know he knows where the bodies are buried. You know what? Forget that. Sometimes
I didn't say that. That didn't come out of my mouth.
I said it. Sometimes that's the rumor. He knows where the bodies are buried. But you know what? Sometimes somebody else's body needs to be buried.
He's here because they're giving it one last try. Now, whether or not he continues to be in this role or within the organization, totally, and maybe is reshuffled somewhere else. That's to be seen. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
But I will acknowledge that there is a Brian Flores class action lawsuit that is headed towards a jury trial. There is nothing that the NFL can do about it, and they've tried and tried and tried. And Chris Greer, Steve Ross, everybody involved is going to have to be deposed. And then probably going to have to take the stand. And there is no settling this thing.
I get that. I could. You're speaking of facts. I could tiptoe around it. I could Gregory Hines around it. You can't let the man go because he knows too much stuff. So therefore, can't fire him. I didn't say you said that. I saying that.
Okay.
I'm the one who's Gregory Hines and tiptoeing right now, tap dancing around the situation. He knows where the bodies are buried. Can't let him go because he's a key witness.
Okay.
That's what it is. He's key to the witness. So we're not letting him go. So therefore, that makes sense. We will relieve Mr. Greer of his general manager duties and find him somewhere up in the organization where he still can make a nice income and not have to be embarrassed.
In charge of football decisions.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
let's
think
not-
that's
Let's not, Omar, let's not incriminate ourselves, yourself, anything. I want to talk about a nuclear option tomorrow. Justin
Okay.
Herbert, the Chargers come in. Herbert balls out. Tua looks terrible. The Dolphins lose something like 40-7. Do we see changes possibly Monday to this team in the organization?
I think the only time you're going to see changes is when this fan base absolutely, unequivocally, without a reservation or doubt, checks out on this team.
Omar,
We
were there for game 2 against New England. There were a lot of empty seats.
Oh no, there's still a lot of empty seats. But
No. Let's go by a home game. Week 2 against New England, first game of the season, first home game against a division rival with a fan base that is very heavy down here in South Florida.
Yeah, Jets fans.
I'm talking about this is the Patriots. This is on Patriots. They didn't show up. They didn't show up for that game in week 2. Week 4, Monday night, early game against the dismal Jets. Crazy fan base, Jet fan base down here. It was empty. There was a lot of empty seats. Correct?
Yes, correct.
And that is with two teams that is within your division that has a heavy fan base down here in this market. Now you got the Chargers from all the way from the left coast.
Yes.
They don't sell out their own fan. They don't even sell out their home games. Other teams come to their homes and sell it out. So you can't figure that a Charger fan base is going to be coming down to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium. And this team just lost a 17-point lead and lost 27-24 to the Carolina Panthers. I expect to see a lot of empty seats tomorrow.
I don't doubt you, but but I could tell you that this fan base hasn't checked out yet. They're close, but they haven't checked out yet. And you know what will resurgitate them? A victory over the Chargers, and then maybe a victory over the Browns, and it'll keep you tuning in and keep you seeing what's going to happen. But if you do get blown out by the Chargers, probably everybody's days are numbered. But the point I've always made about firing people, what is it going to accomplish? Firing people right now, what is it going to accomplish? What is it going to do? What is it going to achieve? Because from my standpoint, it's only going to make the team worse. Because you're removing the play caller, then there's going to be adjustment for how long it takes the new play caller to figure out what he's doing, cut his groove. Whoever's going to be the head coach, are you going to put Anthony Weaver as the head coach, considering his unit's probably the number one problem on the team? Like, what exactly are you doing? You decide that you want to move on. Okay, move on how and with who? Like, who becomes the head coach, the interim head coach of this team?
That's a great point, Omar. We get worse by firing. And you're not going to bring fans back that have already checked out on the season. And the fans that are still checked in the season see that you're punting on the season. So why should they be invested? So the easy answer of, just fire everybody, maybe isn't that much of an answer to anything at all.
But you keep them, the fan is not going to go. If they continue losing.
I don't think the fans are going to go no matter what if they continue to lose. I mean, but you already sold your season tickets. It's not like you got to sell. You already sold your season tickets. What you need to worry about is the renewal point. At what point do these sales reps start calling their clients and saying, "Hey, are you ready to renew?" And a fan can tell you what that point is. I actually don't even know. I think it's at some point in October or November. But we got a little ways to go. You know what I'm saying? We still got a little ways to go.
Omar, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
After the final game against the Patriots, right?
Yes.
You're talking about next year in January.
Talking about January. Talking about this season, but yes, 2026, January, the last game of the year, right? I believe that's against the Patriots in New England.
That's correct.
Which one of these three people will still be on the Miami Dolphins after that game? Will it be the quarterback? Will it be the head coach? Or will it be the general manager? Will it be one of these three, two of these three, or all three will be back?
I think it's only going to be one of the three. I think Chris Greer might be still employed by the Miami Dolphins, but probably not in that position as general manager. In terms of Tua, I don't think there's any way his contract next year is completely fully guaranteed. That's the last year that's guaranteed. You're going to ride that out and see. You just have no choice unless somebody wants to trade for him. And it's possible that somebody wants to trade for him. Trust me, it's definitely possible. Because have you seen a lot of these college quarterbacks?
I'm a Saints
Well,
fan.
that was the
I'm a
next
Saints
question.
fan.
That was the next question I was going to ask you, because it was like this 2026 draft. I don't like some of the quarterbacks. Drew Alar from Penn State doesn't impress me. Your boy Kuzan Nesmeyer doesn't impress me. Maybe if the Oregon quarterback comes out, maybe. So.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, because to follow up to that, which one of the three is coming back? If it is Tua and that big contract, but there's a new man, there's going to be a new boss, a new head coach on the sidelines, and the Dolphins just don't have a great season. Say they finish 3-14 or 4-13, and they have a pick in a top 7, top 8. Would they draft a quarterback, a new franchise quarterback, and then maybe go through the Denver Broncos situation of just maybe have to eat a year or another year or two of Russell's contract, and then give the keys to the throne to the new quarterback that they draft?
I don't necessarily think that that's the greatest recipe for success, in my opinion, because one, if I was overwhelmed, if I was blown away by one of these quarterbacks, because realistically, you're probably going to have to be the top 3 pick. Let's be real about this team. Are they top 3 bad? Not yet. They got work to do to get there. And I'm not in love with any of these quarterbacks. If this was a great quarterback year, I'd be like, okay, bottom out. Figure out how you get yourself in position to, get what the quarterback that you need. But realistically, and I know people hate when I say this, but Tua's on pace to do something in the NFL that only 2 other quarterbacks have done, and that's Aaron Rodgers and Steve Young. Now, people will call it empty numbers and empty calories, and that's all well and good, but Tua has proven that he's not going to be the reason that you win an NFL game, but he's also proven that he's not going to necessarily be the reason that you lose one.
That Buffalo was him.
Yeah, no. Usually.
There's a lot of usually. I can go back to the games that it was on him.
Let's
and those 2 guys that you mentioned with Hall of Fame or future Hall of Fame, they had a big chip on their shoulder, and they were finally able to knock that chip off to the point where we no longer had to question their legacy or their skill. That's what we're waiting for Tua. That's the moment. Tua hasn't had that moment where we can be like, all right, now we can shut the hell up. He did that. He's done that.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't proven that, and that every opportunity that's been presented for him to shut us up, he hasn't.
Yeah.
So that's why correct. The Tua nons, you don't hear from them no more, and all the Tua haters, you're hearing very a fervor now.
Like they're loud, they're vocal, they're really they've taken over, and they have a great right to be honest with you, because this team is not very good, and I have no idea what's going to make them good.
But Omar, on a positive note, I'm not crazy to say this. You're getting a reeling Chargers team coming in. They've got a lot of injuries. They have to go across the country to play a game against a team that is desperate to prove that they're tougher than they were last game, defensively and offensively. It's not totally crazy to say the Dolphins walk away with a win tomorrow.
It is not crazy, and they have a very good chance of walking away with the win, but that requires them to actually do things that they haven't done in a while, which is play a disciplined game, be efficient and consistent. So I'm not necessarily certain that they can do that, but you never know when a team is ready and willing to turn a corner. I'm being honest with you.
So
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for them to show me who they are.
All right. So week 6 tomorrow, which will be a third of the season out the way. You're telling me this is the game where we're going to know if this locker room is fractured and splintered after this game.
I actually have game 8 as circled as my, have they quit game? Have they sold out on this coaching staff? That's my breaking point for this season is week 8. Right now they're blaming everything on the rookies and claiming that oh, we got depleted offensive line, and they do. Well, hopefully at some point the offensive linemen that are out, Austin Jackson and James Daniels, come back and give you a little bit better play, give to a little bit better of a pocket, help you run the ball a little bit better. But truthfully speaking, it's tough sledding for this team, because the deeper you dig the hole, the harder it is for you to get out. And their hole is pretty deep now, but it's not impossible for them to get out, but they're pretty much getting close to it.
Should be a wild ride. Nobody does it better than the Miami Herald's Omar Kelly. Omar, I know you're all over the place. What's the best way to follow you and to get into all of the details that you do with the Dolphins?
You can follow me at Omar Kelly on Twitter. I'm pretty much I'm active there. And then I have a podcast called Dolphins in Depth, and then another podcast with three other podcasters called Dolphins Collective that you can find on YouTube, both Dolphins in Depth and Dolphins Collective. Then I do work with QAM. I'll be part of the pregame show tomorrow at noon.
Nobody does it better. Omar, thank you so much for spending
Yes,
some time
sir.
with us. We look forward to hearing from you tomorrow and, of course, throughout the week with Joe Rose in the morning.
All right, guys.
Thank
How's
you,
it going, Omar?
That is Omar Kelly, selling you a little bit of sunshine, but also selling you a little bit of darkness right there.
It's not solid. It's just telling you reality,
Yeah,
bro.
the reality is it is early in the season. I agree with Omar. There's crazy things happen.
See, this was cool when it was the first 4 weeks. Now we're a third of the
He
season.
said week 8.
Week 8's half of the season. It's almost half of the season. I'm not waiting for half of the season to realize that, we're dog trash. He can. He's a writer. He follows his team. He travels. He's got to do that. Vlad, no. Vlad goes to the locker room, gets his interviews, and then that's it. But I'm gonna be real with you. No, you can't be 1-5. I don't want to hear 1-5, and then I don't want to hear, maybe this, that. Stop. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You want to know what it is, bro? Dolphin fans, I don't want to sound like Jet fans. Y'all sounding like Jets fans right now. You don't want to sound like Jets fans.
Don't want to be a Jets fan.
I love my team, but
at the same time,
that's it. That's the mentality that you start thinking, you start having. You don't want that.
It's important that you bring that up because you and Omar are there for the games. You're in the locker rooms. I want to talk about that next. I want to kind of get a vibe, kind of get a feel. What's going on with this Dolphins team? Maybe behind the scenes, maybe some of the stuff that we don't hear, some of the stuff we don't see. Not the Dolphins from the podium, but the Dolphins just being the Dolphins. We'll get to that next. Vladimir Louison, Dan Day. This is Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM. Spoke with Miami Herald's Omar Kelly in the last segment. Vlad in the last segment said he's ready to say this team stinks, and he's talking about the Miami Dolphins. I and Omar still hold out some optimism that this team can, when I say turn it around, I'm not saying they're going to go on this magical run and get into the playoffs and win some playoff games and do something, but they can turn around what seems to be a so far dismal season. Now, Vlad, you are around the team a little more than I am, but from what I'm gathering from guys like Omar Kelly, from Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel, from Kim Bokamper, that Mike McDaniel has not lost the quote unquote locker room and that this team still is playing for each other. When you do these post-game interviews, and you've only done a couple because you don't go on the road games, do you feel this sense of despair or do you feel this sense from the team that we're going to get this right?
Not a sense of despair, because they're actually, like I said, I've said, they're actually, I see them more together than they were like the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is like you don't see everybody just heading to the shower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're just like, oh, there's somebody that's just getting dressed, or taking off their tape and their uniform. Then you can speak to them. There's actually, you see them sitting down, they're talking. They might be talking about certain plays. They're talking about the game, talking whatsoever. But it's just not, it's not like like when the lights come on and all the roaches are just getting out. Like once they see the media, there's actually people staying there that they're talking. They're discussing the game, whatever, maybe game, whatever they're going to do. But I don't feel a splinter. Right. But
it's early.
But there's only so much more I want to hear Mike McDaniel saying, I don't feel like there's a splinter. Because the more you're telling me that you don't feel there's a splinter, that means there's a splinter.
I understand that. But
you understand what I'm saying?
This is what
like
I think,
could see it and be like, oh, okay, cool. They still seem like they mess with each other. If the coach is telling you that, and it's constantly repeating that, then there's a fear that it might happen. And I know Omar said it. Minka Fitzpatrick seems like to me, Minka feels like, I feel Minka is like, I left this situation just to come back to this situation.
Destined to be a Dolphin.
Like I left this toxic situation just to come back to even a more toxic situation. Oh, y'all should have gave me more than a bonus. You know what I mean? Like I deserve more than that raise.
Like I said, I don't know very much personally with the Dolphins. I feel as though they haven't quit on Mike McDaniel. I feel as though the locker room is still together. This is how I feel this team possibly could be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally off base. They're still playing for each other. They're still getting better. They're still trying to get better. They still see the potential they have, but they also, at the end of the day, look to the left, look to the right, and they're like, this is the ammo that we have. They might realize that they have potential to get better, but they also might realize that they are limited. And that's a sad reality we all face one day when we realize.
All right, you know what? Let's be positive.
The will is there.
Let me be positive, right? Your first game without Tyreek, you did put 27 points, and you put up 17 points.
Jalen Waddle looked great.
Waddle looked like he was looking like a number one receiver, and Darren Waller in the first half looked like a good, strong number two.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that's been happening, I don't know, ever since he's been head coach. Seems to me this man can't do no second half adjustments.
That's what I was about to say, Vlad. The thing that scares me about Mike McDaniel is year 1 and 2, we said he needs to grow as a head coach and learn how to adjust. Now in year, is it 5?
3 and 4.
3 and 4, we're like, he's still not adjusting.
Last year, no adjustments.
He got way out adjusted by the Carolina Panthers last week. A team that saw their quarterback was going to lose in the game, took the ball out of his hands, realized, oh, we're going to run all over this team, ran all over this team. Mike McDaniel, whatever they did scheming-wise, couldn't get it to Darren Waller. His adjustments have just been, that's a big problem.
You know it's bad when the chat is asking what to drink tomorrow, what beer to drink, and I'm telling them Modelo's, and then somebody asks maybe if it's a Johnny or is it a blue or black label type of game, and I'm like, just do the blue since the Chargers are in town, Charger blue, But this is bad when people like to drink, they like to drink for a good time. Tomorrow when you're watching the Dolphins, you're drinking to numb the pain.
I get where a lot of things are going. I didn't get that where that was going at first.
You drink. Some people drink and watch football to have a great time. Dolphin fans are drinking well, and Jet fans as well. But this fan base, they're drinking tomorrow to numb the pain. This is, I don't get it, bro. I just don't. Because then you look at it, you look at the team, you're like, there's too much talent. Like, you got too many good players and too much talent not to be better than 1-4. You could be 2-3. You could have been 3-2. I'm not, but just to have one single victory.
I think
Now, Indianapolis, who knew they were going to beat this team the first 6 weeks of the 5 weeks of the
they're a good team through the first
New
part of the
England,
season.
they got 3-2. Here's the other thing. It's not like you played some, bad teams other than Carolina and the Jets. Your first 3 teams that you played are all in the playoffs. The playoff ended today in the AFC. And I hate saying that so early in the season, the third.
Just say
But
darn
New
good
England
teams.
was expected to be a up-and-coming team. They've done that. They've beaten Buffalo. They've beaten Miami on the road. Buffalo, it's Buffalo. They're 4-1.
Yep.
Nobody expected the Indianapolis Colts except for one guy.
You said that outside of Daniel Jones, they were a very solid team.
I did say that, and I said all they need is just mediocre quarterback play. Who knew that Indianapolis Jones was going to give them above average quarterback play and the tail of doom? Cool. Indy, Buffalo, New England. 10 wins, I think, between all 3 of them. I think they're 10-5. Right? Or 10-5 or 10-4. One of the two. Right? Carolina and the Jets, man. The Jets ran over 200 yards for them. That game could have been changed if Braylon Allen doesn't turn the ball over.
Correct.
Okay, as much as we're happy with that win, you know what really put makeup on that win? Because that was an ugly win, but I don't care how you win. You know what put makeup on that win? The unbelievable play of Darren Waller in his first game back from retirement as a Miami Dolphin.
He's a difference maker.
If it wasn't for Darren Waller's great play, we would really look at this win and be like, it's good to have that win, but that was a nasty win. And there was a lot of stuff then in that win that was just very worrisome. Then you go against Carolina. I could go if you beat Carolina 17-0. If you manhandle Carolina, I don't care if you win 23-3, 23-10. But after that 17-0 lead, if you just choke them out and that was it, then you could be like, all right, 2 big wins, 2 good wins back to back, one on the road, one at home. And you're starting to get your mojo. See how Darren Waller is being included in this offense. First game after Tyreek's injury.
And your losses were to the Bills 4-1, Patriots 3-2, and the Colts
right.
4-1.
So you see how the narrative changes? You see how that you start looking at all right, the Dolphins are still the same team. They can't beat the good teams, but
they whoop up on
the bad teams. But you know what? Everybody's not great this year. If they start stacking up wins, maybe get everything going, then maybe they can make a run. Maybe they can do some things. I don't even want to make a run. Maybe they could do some things in the postseason.
Like, Vlad, look. You say, look, we lost to the Bills, Patriots, the Colts. Those are really good teams. We're 2-3, let's say, if we beat Carolina. Chargers have their problems. Later in the year, the Bengals and the Ravens, they're having their problems. Later in the year, you get the Steelers, even though it's at their place. Maybe, just maybe you hold your own destiny, but now you look at it as, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And once again, tomorrow, I expect it to be a 1-possession game at the end of the game.
Now, you know what? I expect the Chargers to win. I'm not going to hold you. I expect a nasty.
That would be a very logical.
I expect a 16-6 win. It's going to be disgusting. I just think the Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh is just going to come in there and just play big boy game.
Like I said, though, Vlad.
He's just going to play big boy game. He's going to milk the clock. He's going to 38 to 39 minutes of time of possession. Just run the ball down Miami's throat.
We talked to Omar. What if Jim Harbaugh coaches circles around Mike McDaniel? What if Justin Herbert goes off? What if the defense is absolutely – well, that would mean the defense
you're going to be hearing boos.
I asked Omar, would you see some changes?
No.
I don't think you do.
No, the only way you see changes, and I've been telling you this from the longest, and okay, that's because Omar and I have had this discussion. No change will be made imminently unless Stephen Russ doesn't see asses in the seats.
I don't think they make any major changes.
And he, like he said, they already sold it. Like this year's already been sold, so it's not like he's going to take any losses. Like he
And
already sold the season
once again,
tickets.
what does it change? It doesn't change anything other than.
But I don't think you want to see games, and then all of a sudden you seen brown paper bags and all of that. Like I'm expecting another. Like I'm actually put it this way. I know the Jets are playing early tomorrow. I'm going to get there early so I don't miss the banner. I'm waiting to see what the new banner is going to be this week.
Something to look forward to, Vlad.
Yeah, I want to know what the new banner is going to be for them because they cheer clearly the fan base wants the triumvirate done of Greer,
Of course.
McDaniel, and Tua.
And I'm glad you say that, Vlad, because there's something I didn't really want to talk about.
Oh, we're going to talk about
I think we need to talk about it next. I'm building up the courage to talk about what could possibly happen and how it's going to make me feel even more disgusted than I already do. That is next here on Sports Day 104.3 FM WQAM. Vlad, you say it all the time.
What do
The
I say?
streets need a body.
Always.
I've been thinking of this scenario, and I didn't really want to talk about it, but this would be the most Dolphins thing ever.
Stop, because we've been saying that a lot. I said the most Dolphin thing ever would been with them to go to Buffalo and beat Buffalo, and that almost happened, but it didn't. We also said the most Dolphin thing to do would beat the Jets, go on a 2-game winning streak, and then take on Cleveland and have a chance to go to 500.
This would be in character for the Dolphins. Tomorrow, nuclear scenario.
Nuclear, jeez.
Justin Herbert comes in, throws for 350 yards, dices up this weak defense. Tua doesn't play very well. Mike McDaniel gets outcoached by Jim Harbaugh. The fans are gone by halftime. There's no one in the stadium. The people that are in the stadium are booing. And it's just utter despair. And you say the streets need a body. Who would the Dolphins, in their character, be their quote-unquote
body? Who would be the sacrificial lamb?
Who will be the sacrificial lamb? Who would the Dolphins do that to? They would go.
I think I have to be the head coach.
They would go on Monday and say, Anthony Weaver has been relieved of his duties. They would keep Mike McDaniel. They would keep Chris Greer. And they'd say the defense has been flawed all year. Never mind that you got guys in the secondary that didn't even know they were going to be in the league this year. Never mind that your front seven actually has underperformed, but has rookie Kenneth Grant right there trying to figure things out. Never mind that he has little to work with. You traded off one of his best players. That would be a very in-character thing for the Dolphins to do, would be fire the defensive coordinator because the defense can't stop the run and someone needs to get fired because we just got whooped. Philosophically, physically, and everything. And Anthony Weaver, the first defensive coordinator Mike McDaniel's had for more than 1 year, would be the guy the Dolphins would go after and make an example of. That would just infuriate me and aggravate me.
And why would that be?
Because it's not worthy of getting fired. It would be rational for them because the fan base wants heads to roll.
I mean, they want bodies.
I know who the fan base wants to fire, but the problem is those one or two guys is not probably going to get fired. It would just be easier for them. I could see that happening if it gets to the nuclear scenario. And that to me, oh my goodness. Once again, like Omar said, what does it accomplish? As a fan base, you say, oh, it'll change things. It's not. If you're already checked out on the season, you're not checking back in if they fire anybody.
Facts.
You having interim coaches not going to make this team overall better.
No, it needs an overhaul, Kuzan. That's what it. Damn, that clouds is nasty. They need an overhaul, fam. Like that's what they really need, and it's on them. It's on them. It's not even on them. It's on Steven. It's on Steven Ross, bro.
One person.
Like I'm trying. I'm like, nah, it's on.
Chris Greer's not going to come out and go, you know what? I've decided to fire myself because I'm the problem.
Nobody's going to fire themselves.
Mike McDaniel comes out, you know what? It's me. I take the blame. I'm out. No,
nobody's going to say that.
And by the way, Chris Greer is not he might not be GM next year, but he's still going to be with the team. We already know that he's going to be part of the team.
In some way, shape, or form, he's going to be part of the team. Like, and we
football
like
operations.
Well, there's a lot of things going on.
But yeah,
right. So it's like, all right, cool.
But if things go south tomorrow and they come out on Monday and fire Anthony Weaver as a sacrificial lamb, that's going to just blow me away. That's when I'm going to come out and say this organization is just dirty. That's all I'm going to say. There's other words I could use.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, it's like, because we were thinking about, all right, maybe Anthony Weaver would be the head coach because we all knew that, McDaniel was on the Foreman fire grill. So it was like, okay, cool. If that's going to happen, then Anthony Weaver would be the coach, would be the next head coach of the team, players like him, the whole nine. But then they haven't lived up to their expectations this season.
He's had personnel issues, I would say, to say the least.
Personnel, worsennel, I don't care.
This is what gives me so much pessimism. Omar, Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald. What's been the most frustrating part about this team? You'd like to hear, yeah, they haven't gotten a bounce. He said, the roster build.
So then when you go roster, who does that fall on? This is
okay.
what I'm saying, fam. Like when you look at the three,
I don't know.
the unholy trinity of GM Chris Greer, head coach Mike McDaniel, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, dude, who put this roster together?
No, you're right. No, but what I'm saying is that doesn't offer me a lot of hope.
It shouldn't,
because that means your foundation, like a house, if it's not solid, not going to stand.
Fam, termites have done. I just bit off the wood off that place.
I would like to hear, what's your most frustrating part of this team? The punting game has been not really up to what I'd like. That's what I like to hear. Like, I've been a part of big time teams, like when the Saints win a Super Bowl, LSU's won national championships. Well, our punter has had issues getting it inside the 20. That's the stuff that good teams talk about. We're frustrated or we need to improve. When you say the roster is built,
it's just that they haven't adjusted. Put it
I would like an adjustment.
Let me tell you this. Remember when Mahomes became quarterback of Kansas City?
Yes.
Remember how they were taking out defenses left and right. Their offense was so high powered with all the speed. You had Tyreek, you had Prime Kelsey.
There was a game against the Houston Texans.
They were down 24-0. They blew them out,
and they ran away from them.
Right? No, it was the AFC divisional
game. Yeah,
right. They were down 24-0, and then just boat raced them after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then guess what? I say this a lot. Who are one of the 5 smartest people in the world? Gambling odds makers and defensive coordinators. They got film, and over the years they watched the film and they started to put defenses together, create schemes to limit the big play abilities of the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what the Kansas City Chiefs did? They adjusted their offense.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not giving us any deep plays, any chunk plays. We'll just dump passes, get the ball to our playmakers and let them go down the field. Instead of scoring within seconds, we'll just score within minutes. And guess what? Their defense improved and they continued winning championships. Teams adjust.
That's interesting that you say that, Vlad, because in the post game, I listened a lot to Mike McDaniel's guys, and they kept being like, so why didn't Darren Waller get involved? Why did you do this? Well, Carolina made these adjustments. Never once did they go, so to counter that, we adjusted here. All they did was
never hear that.
All you heard about was how the Panthers had made adjustments to take away this and take away this and to slow this down. You never heard, so, we adjusted and did this. Or they tried to take Darren Waller out, so we had to be more creative in how to get Darren Waller the ball. None of that.
You'll never hear it.
Never. And we let it slide the first year or two, saying that Mike McDaniel was a rookie coach and he's going to grow, and he still may. But he needs to. I hate to do this when I call him people. He needs to start growing.
Grow what?
He needs to start growing some adjustment abilities.
Fam, you're in a sweet situation and it's messing it up. You think any other owners or GMs or execs are going to look at you what's happening in Miami and might give you another chance? You may be a great coordinator, but I don't know if you could be a head coach, because this was a pretty, once again, easy, lax atmosphere for you to prosper in. And first couple of years was great, but then after a while it doesn't. It's not.
Coaches do grow, and you do have to understand that it doesn't happen overnight. Dan Campbell was a laughing stock until he wasn't. And he's grown. And Omar will tell you, he grew from when he was here to when he started with the Lions to where he's at now.
You understand what's happening?
Yeah.
And what's Mike McDaniel doing?
Hopefully
he's regressing.
Hopefully growing.
He's not progressing. He's regressing.
He's not shown an upward trend. I will say that. At least not this year.
Ain't no blue chew can help him. No.
Okay.
It's regression. All right.
Let's put it on the shelf for a little while.
That's what she said as well. All right. No, it's regressing. All right. So no, I'm not seeing that. I could see, where he's gonna fall under? He's gonna fall under the Josh McDaniel. Ooh, that these guys may be great offensive coordinators, but they just can't when they have a team for them to run. Sometimes guess what, Playboy? Maybe you're just not a leader of men.
That could be it.
You got to earn and get respect from men in order for you to lead them. I don't think he's earning the respect of his players anymore.
Wins and losses do a lot of that too. So he hasn't
You
been.
damn right, he quote that Andy Reid ain't looking up no Pizza Hut menu when he's looking at that clipboard. No, he's looking up at adjustments. He's looking at the plays. Oh, okay, this is what they're doing. Yes, man. Yes.
I mean, look what Kyle Shanahan did the other night on that Thursday night game when he had all his backups in. Played to their strengths, and they won the game. Don't know. Quick headlines. Mariners advanced to the ALCS, defeating the Tigers 3-2 in the 15th inning last night. Tonight, it's Game 5. Brewers-Cubs at 8 o'clock. That should be an exciting one. Midwest battle right there. Ooh, got some college football going on right now.
We got a tie game in Tallahassee.
Alabama, Missouri also tied at 17.
Signed 17 in Columbia, Missouri.
And Ohio State's
wow. They putting belt to ass.
They're really physically dominating. Every time I look up, Illinois is injured and walking off to the sideline.
By the way, the defending champs, they're still pretty damn good.
Yeah, they've answered the call this year. I will say that. 3:30 Red River rivalry, Texas versus Oklahoma.
I think I'm going to watch that because the quarterback of Oklahoma is back, Johnny Mater.
He's a great player.
He's a very good player. And I think if, what's his name? If Arch could beat Oklahoma and win the Red River rivalry, it would very help him. Take some of the, take a lot of the critics, get him off their back a little bit.
He's been so bad this year. He's going to have to come back for another year of college, it seems like. And I like Arch, man. You know me, man.
Listen, I got no problem with Arch. It's just that, unfortunately, you have a last name that is royalty, football royalty, and they're going to be on you.
I gave him a chance. I've been giving him chances. I want him, Isabel Newman High School, New Orleans, Garden District area. I want to, I'm a New Orleans guy. I want to feel good, but, man, I'm starting to watch him and be like, ooh, man.
Dude, getting old stinks, man. These floaters is bothering me. I got floaters, guys. So in my eye vision right now,
okay,
it feels like there's like a brown spider.
It's because you've been drinking those energy drinks. I told you those energy drinks are getting.
And it just,
I warned you,
dude. I'm watching the game yesterday. Like I think it was like the 10th inning or the 11th inning. All of a sudden, I just like moved my eye.
Oh, you got.
And it was like, oh, what the hell is this?
Maybe some macular degeneration.
It could be. I mean, I don't. The diabetes probably doesn't help.
Diabetes.
The diabetes probably doesn't help. But dude, all of a sudden, I'm like, what's this brown spot? That's in my. Yeah, I did the research. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's
When did you realize you were starting to be
old,
an adult, and getting old? Yeah, not saying you're
old. I've been
an
adult for a while. When I realized I'm getting old,
was there a moment or an age or anything for you where you were like, "Wow, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm
38."
38.
38.
I don't know if I've come to that age yet.
38 was it.
Moment.
When you used to do things that was nothing, all of a sudden it's like, oh man. It's not good. You know what? Actually, it's before 38. It's when you going out to the clubs, and then all of a sudden the recovery time wasn't the same as it was when you were younger. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you. Okay, there was a moment that made me feel really bad. I met this woman, young 20-something-year-old woman, and she asked me my age, and I decided to tell her. And she said, "I think you're really hot, and I like you, but I can't date you. You're too old for me." I was like, "Oh, ouch." Ouch. What do you do, man? Just go feel old?
I mean, she complimented you. She still says you look good at your age.
Oh, yeah. No. She said she was all in for a while.
All right, AEW.
Let's get back on track real quick. We have LSU playing South Carolina, 7:45. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, 11:59 p.m. kickoff between Hawaii and Utah State. So, if you're doing bad today, there's hope at the very last minute, literally the last minute.
Utah State, Hawaii, you parlay that with the Jets-Denver game, you're back in it.
Because that game's going to end around 3:30.
3:30, and then the next game's going to start like in 6 hours.
So the game kicks off at 9:30, but you probably get an hour of pregame, so that's 8:30. So you
got 5 hours of nap time.
Break.
You got 4 or 5 hours of nap time. You good?
That's good. U.S. men's national team tied Ecuador 1-1 yesterday. Argentina defeated Venezuela at Hard Rock Stadium 1-0. Messi was there, did not play. Argentina back in action Tuesday, Chase Stadium against Puerto Rico. If you're looking for the Miami Hurricanes pregame, well, you're going to be looking for a while. This is not the pregame to the pregame. The pregame will actually be on Friday at around 3 o'clock.
So let me ask you this. Does Hawk and Crowder even do a show?
They do an hour, yeah.
Come on, man. Get out of here.
They were talking about it this week. I heard him say, Victor Bermudez, we trust you that you could fill an extra hour and just let us have the day off.
I would say so.
No, man, I'm doing an hour of postgame tomorrow, and I'm fired up, man.
But you also doing the Heat game.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
no. Mm-mm.
All right.
But I'm going to be here for the game, so I mean, might as well stick around. It seems like I'm the only one excited about this postgame tomorrow. And, if things get crazy tomorrow, Lynn, if you're listening, and I know you are, Lynn, you might want to say, preheat, give them a little time, because things could be very, very interesting tomorrow at around 4 o'clock.
Well, this is how bad we've reached in the market. What would you rather listen to? Another Dolphin crying towel post game?
Oh, yes.
Or Miami Heat preseason basketball?
Hey.
I mean, what entertains you more?
It's going to be if things get crazy tomorrow, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say how crazy, but just crazy. It is going it's going to be a hot supernova.
So what are you talking about? Like, LA just comes here and just beats the living out of the Dolphins to the point the fans are leaving after the first possession in the third quarter, and they're booing. Oh, no. Then you're really getting destroyed if you're leaving early before halftime. Nobody leaves before halftime.
Oh, we saw it happen to Bill Belichick last week.
Oh, I mean, that's college. That's different. They're young. Like, their day could be saved at 1 p.m. They can go to the beach or something. They could do something to salvage their day.
Old people can only do one thing a day.
Old people only got one. You got one shot, baby. You got one shot. You got to let that old person know so they can mentally prepare themselves.
That's another moment where you know you're old. When you realize you can only do one thing in a day. Like, oh, guess what we can do tomorrow? We can go to Bill's, house party to watch the game. Then afterwards, you're like, afterwards? No, there's no afterwards. We're doing one thing. We're going to the party and we're going home. Oh, you don't want to go out to a bar or a club? No, I can't do two things in one day. No. Okay. Getting back to the Miami Heat, they do have a big preseason game tomorrow at 6 in Orlando against the Magic. Preheat tentatively will begin at 5 o'clock because I'll be on from 4 to 5.
Wait,
I say tentatively.
Y'all do an hour?
Actually, they're shortening their pregame. They usually do an hour, 15 minutes of pregame.
So what? They just shortened it to an hour?
An hour. So, and like I said, tentative because something crazy could happen tomorrow, and we might need to.
Oh, what? Somebody gets fired?
I'm just saying it's something crazy. I'm just saying I don't know anything. Once again, I don't even know how the game's going to.
Nah, they won't fire him immediately after tomorrow. They'll fire him Monday.
No, Stephen Ross is not firing anybody. I'm just saying.
If they would fire, it'd be Monday. It'd be kind of hard to fire somebody right after the game. But I ain't gonna hold you though.
Has there ever been an instance where the owner of a team just walks out there at the end of the game and on the field takes a microphone for everyone?
Oh no, wait a minute. No. You know I would love that.
For everyone that stayed, I want to thank you or reward you by, excuse me, come here, such and such, coach, whatever. You're fired. Just Donald Trump style. Like the old, what was the show? The Apprentice? You're fired.
You're fired.
The 18 people in attendance. Yeah. Whoa. That's my owner right there.
Nothing happened in professional where a coach has been fired right after. Well, wait a minute. Lane Kiffin got fired.
I thought that, there's been like letters and
Lane
stuff.
Kiffin got fired. I think wasn't he fired? Like they told him not even take the flight with them back?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin got fired. That's it. But he's home though, so you can't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? Like you want him to at least, bring his stuff so he can get all his stuff out. I think Omar was right. If they were gonna let people go, they'll probably let him go after the year.
Yeah. Because once again, it doesn't really make
benefit
anything better.
anyone.
It doesn't benefit anyone at all. And like I said, if you're a fan that's already checked out, you're not checking back in to go watch interim coaches and lame duck, organization. Like they're not. Okay. Inter Miami, second to last MLS regular season game tonight, 7:30 against Atlanta United. With this weather, that is going to be a true fan that goes out there and watches that Inter Miami game. Las Vegas Aces won the WNBA championship, sweeping the Phoenix Mercury last night, 97-86. Asia Wilson, your MVP for the season and MVP for the WNBA finals. She was absolutely lights out yesterday.
She was great. The whole series.
I mean, the whole year, her whole career. Like, I mean, just unbelievable. Like you said,
Yeah, Bam.
maybe after everything is said and done, the greatest female basketball player of all time.
That's what I always thought. Not
to compare eras or do anything crazy like that. But.
She's, I'm a big Adrian Wilson fan. That's a queen right there. So, you talking about unbelievable style, unbelievable game. She's just an unbelievable person. So, shout out to her, Becky Hammond. I love Becky. Jackie Young, the whole, Las Vegas Aces, man. Shout out to
Congratulations.
Bam. Shout out to Bam and your girl, man, and his girl.
Oh yeah, FAU. They host UAB tonight at 6. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. I need your help on this one, Vlad.
Okay.
Miami New Times has released a must-order list at area strip clubs.
A must-order list when you're at an area strip club.
Let me run it through real quick.
All right, let me tell you.
And then you can chime in.
Let me see
your addendum to their must-order list.
Let's see if I haven't been to the nudie bars in a minute, but let's see.
BT's. Have you been to BT's?
BT's, yes.
They say the pizza is a must at BT's.
Okay.
Cheetah Hollandale.
Absolutely.
Must get the prime rib.
Okay. I never ate steak at a strip club, but maybe it is.
At the Gold Rush. Now that's right down the street. We can try this out anytime. Chicken tenders.
The tenders are good there.
Scarlett's. I know you've been there.
Wings.
They say lamb chops.
Oh, the lamb chops.
Mhm.
Okay. What about the toots?
We'll get to that. That's the grand finale.
The mega toots.
That's the money shot.
That is the money shots of all money shots.
Stir Crazy. We've been to Stir Crazy.
I've been to Stir Crazy.
They say the churrasco is a must.
Ooh.
And Tootsies.
The mega toots.
You probably guessed.
The wings.
Fried lobster tail with rice.
So which strip club got the best wings?
No, they didn't say wings were a must.
Wings are always a must.
Okay. So
Miami New Times, what strip club has the best wings? Are you telling me that nobody eats wings at the?
Why don't you, Vlad, settle it for everyone? What strip club has the best wings?
I don't know. Scarlett's and Hollandale and the Mega Toots got some good wings, bro. You know what? Hold on. The former great adult club that Lil Wayne mentioned many times on songs, King of Diamonds.
Okay.
KOD's wings, they had unbelievable wings, Dan. They had regular wings, and then they had Jamaican wings.
Oh,
they had jerk chicken wings.
I mean, you got to get some jerk when you go to the strip
club. You're gonna get jerk at the strip club. You got to get jerk wings at the strip club. You got to. So yes, those would be.
So Vlad,
yes, King of Diamonds, jerk chicken.
So a lot of people are probably going out tonight. They're going to be watching some sporting games. Maybe they'll go to an establishment like that. Which one of those establishments do you believe has the best food?
That's tough, man. Nobody, as crazy as it is, the best meals you'll ever have is at the strip club, bro. They got some great meals. So I would say Scarlett's and Cheetah and Hollandale.
Okay, so what is your go-to? What you?
I gotta have wings. So I gotta have wings
at Scarlett's and Cheetah Hollandale, which are right across the street from each other, by the way. Right across the interstate from each other.
And Toots. Don't forget the Mega Toots.
Toots is a little bit of a walk.
Yeah, those three are the top three.
So wings and that. So we'll have.
I gotta have wings, bro.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
My hand's getting greasy one way or another.
We've been talking a lot about Dolphins and kind of getting negative. Let's talk positive next. Let's break down what's going on with these Miami Hurricanes in their off week and how this year might just be different than years past. That's next here on Sports Day 104.3 FM WQAM. The Miami Hurricanes are currently number 2 in the nation. They have an open date this week. They will be taking on Louisville this coming Friday at 7 o'clock right here on 104.3 FM WQAM. Teams 5-0, number 2 in the nation. And I know a lot of Canes fans are saying, oh, yes, the U is back, baby. Then there's those other pessimistic Canes fans saying, we've seen this before. Canes are going to find a way to blow one against an SMU or a Syracuse or Pitt or Virginia Tech at the end of the season. Is this a different 5-0 Miami Hurricanes team? Is this a different program? I can argue this. Yes, last year you were 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
It took some magic here and there. This year, the resume looks a little bit stronger. You've beaten a lot of, when I say a lot of ranked teams, you've beaten a Florida team that may be ranked soon. You beat Notre Dame on the first night, ranked. You beat USF, who looks like they're for real.
They're ranked.
Last night, they looked really good against an undefeated North Texas team.
They're ranked.
You took out a Florida State team in a rivalry on the road. You haven't really left the state of Florida.
They're
but
ranked.
You got a quarterback that's been there, done that. As cool as the other side of the pillow. You got Malachi Toney, CJ Daniels, the receivers looking good. You got the defense looking better under Corey Heatherman, which gives you reason to believe. So am I being optimistic? Do I have reason to believe that this is a different 5-0 Hurricanes team and that down the stretch, they will just continue to get stronger and force their way into the ACC championship game and further?
I think you're right saying that they're a different 5-0 Hurricane team, but because the defense is so much better than it was last season.
Is that the biggest difference?
That's absolutely the biggest difference. The O-line's the O-line. The O-line's been the same. It's going to be, and it's just had another year together. So obviously that's why they're so formidable. Difference is definitely the defense, because the defense was a question mark, a weakness last season, and it's no longer that this year. You had questions about the receiving core because we lost so many last season from last year's team, and then the guys this year have just been playing at a remarkable level. There hasn't been really much of a drop off. I mean, Cam Ward is Cam Ward, but Carson Beck has done what he needed to do to drive the ball down the field to get the team in positions to score. Not worried about the team. I'm really not worried about this team.
Really,
bro.
Vlad, get this. The Miami Hurricanes football team will not leave the state of Florida until November 1st when they go to Dallas
It
for
happens.
SMU.
All right, so then that happens this year, and then next year they'll probably be on the road like every other weekend.
Right.
And people will be, well, why we got so many road games? So
November
it happens like
1st.
that. It happens like that. It happens for many teams. There's many teams that happen. For UM's happen. There's teams in Texas where they don't even leave the state of Texas.
Yeah, that can be true.
You know, that it happens in certain areas. California, there might be a time where you don't even leave for the first 4 months. I mean, the first 4 weeks of the season. It happens.
Maybe the stars are aligning.
Stars may align, but then there might be another season like next season where the stars don't align.
So, of course, take a deep breath. You get kind of a sticky game against a decent Louisville team on a Friday, 7 o'clock, coming off of a bye week. That would be one of those things. You got a big target on your back. Louisville is formidable. You look at it and say, Mario Cristobal and those guys have to be ready for that one. They're going to be okay. Stanford is Stanford. They're not very good. I don't care if Andrew Luck's the general manager or whatever they want to call him over there, and they're donating a ton of money. That's not going to help them this year.
Yeah, by the time they're playing a game right now, it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. when the kickoff started. So, yeah.
SMU, I feel
they're playing SMU, right? 24-10 SMU over Stanford midway through the third.
And I feel as though Miami will be prepared for SMU. Syracuse, revenge game. Hopefully Miami gets that win. Then you start worrying. Where's Mario Cristobal going to lose? Is it going to be NC State? They're not very good. Is it going to be Virginia Tech? They're not very good. Pittsburgh at the end of the year in Pittsburgh. They're okay because we see they're handling it. They're handling their business, pound for pound with Florida State right now. I don't know, man. I just believe that, as we say with the Dolphins, they're not very good in the trenches. I feel as though the U is good in the trenches. And that is something that travels no matter where you go, no matter how hostile the territory, no matter what the weather is like, that travels, that works.
If you can control the line, you can run the ball and stop the run. It don't matter where you're playing. It could be in Antarctica or it can be in Bali. You're going to win a game. It doesn't matter what the most, extreme of extremes is. You got an O-line and you got a D-line that can run the ball and stop the run, you can play anywhere. I don't care if I'll take you to outer space. You want to go against an alien team? Let's go. Let me get some aliens too. Let me get 5 great offensive linemen, 4 great D linemen. Let's rock.
Is it a false sense of fear that some Hurricanes fans are saying this team isn't putting people away or that it's too close?
Hey
at the
guys,
end of
unless you got
games?
money on the game and you need Miami to cover, I don't give a rat's ass for what you want. I don't care if you win by 1 or you win by 101.
I mean, it still seems
Unless you got money on the game and you got Miami and you need Miami to win by that particular number, I don't care.
I mean, they beat Notre Dame by the field goal. That was a hard-fought opening week game. South Florida, they ran away from them. South Florida seems to be pretty good. Florida, it was close towards the end, but then they scored a lot at the end.
But think about what they're saying. It's as if you want to win or you want to I just want to win. I don't care how I beat my op. I just want to know that I won. So to me, unless you sounding like somebody who has a bet on the game, and I don't even give a crap if you got a bet on the game. All I care about my bets. I don't give a rat's ass about yours.
Once again, good team problems. With the Dolphins, we're worried about the roster, the trenches.
Now you're worrying about how many.
Miami, we're not winning by enough.
Man, I'll smack you.
That's good team problems right
People
there.
need to be smacked with sense.
What's the problem with this Hurricanes team? They're not winning by enough. They're undefeated, right?
Smack some sense into people,
They've beaten 3 ranked teams, right? And one that might be ranked soon, Florida, if they win today against Texas A&M. Yeah, but they're not winning by enough.
Do you have money? That's what I'm saying. Do you have money? If you don't have money in the game, I don't want to hear. And if you do have money in the game, I don't want to hear from you. That's stupid. That's stupid talk.
This Miami Hurricanes team is good. Get ready. Friday, 7:00.
Speaking of, shout out last week. Shout out to my peoples, Trevor and Judy. Great Hurricane Seminole party that they had. Shout out to listeners. I don't even know people that listen to us that when they found out, are you Vlad from the Sports Day with Dan and Vlad on QAM? I was like, oh yeah, there's only one Vlad. And, so they shouted you out. Shout out to Jenna and Timothy. They're about to get married. Timothy's like a Spanish Travis Kelce. If Travis Kelce was Spanish, I don't know what they would call him. Travito, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, Travis and Jenna, cool. Shout out to Brian, Carrie, Paulie. I felt bad for his wife Jen. She was the only Jennifer. She was the only Florida State Seminole fan, So, but I love her. So I protected her up until her sister came, who was another Seminole fan. Then I just let them, protect themselves, and then I just went full Miami. But it was a great party, great atmosphere, and you could see that because you could tell a lot of Canes fans were really feeling like January 19th they should be at the Hard Rock Stadium watching their team try to win a national title on their home field. That's the sentiments I'm getting right now.
That's interesting. You say these things, Vlad, because I told you the Hurricanes don't leave Florida, the state of Florida, until November 1st when they play SMU in Fort Worth. The road to the national championship goes through the Orange Bowl here in Miami, and then the national championship is right here in Miami.
Wait, the semifinals is here in Miami?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this.
Stars start aligning.
It does align, but would they do something nasty and have them play like another semifinal game at the other location?
Don't you dare. They try to keep you with your conference and your.
But they try to keep you aligned close.
Right.
But I don't know where the other semifinal game would be, because last year's semifinal game was the Orange Bowl as well. It was Penn State versus Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken.
Semifinals 2025. Let's see. Capital One Orange Bowl, Thursday, January 9th. Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Friday, January 10th.
Would they send Miami to Texas?
They better not. They bet not, as we say.
Would they send Miami to Texas?
Just
to say that they're not having too much of a home field advantage and everything's working out for them. Because if you got the national semifinal game and a national title game
in your house,
and say Miami's one of the teams that get a bye week,
welcome to Miami.
Like you get a bye, like they're one of the top 4 seeds and they get a bye week. That means they're playing a game, and they're probably going to play a game very, close. So I don't know where the quarterfinal games would be, but you may, like you said, you may only make 4 trips outside the state of Florida this whole year. Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and SMU.
wait.
I think those are the
I got my years mixed up. I'm
Pittsburgh-
sorry. Nope, you will. Nope, that all goes to waste because I forgot that next year will be 2026. So it's the Fiesta Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Shoot.
Okay. That's
Shoot.
what. All right, that makes more
As
sense.
we say, shoot.
That makes more sense because last year was the semifinal, and I believe that was Penn State Notre Dame.
So it's just the national championship would be your money.
Yes. Okay.
Shoot.
That makes
shoot.
sense.
So
That makes
Fiesta
sense.
Bowl, which would probably be in
Arizona
then the Chick-fil-A Bowl, which is Georgia.
in Georgia. So then you would probably want to go to Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, for the trip, I would prefer going to Arizona, but yeah, you probably want to stay close.
We don't have good memories in Arizona.
I don't like, yeah, but I just don't like Atlanta. So, okay, I got the years mixed up. Man, I was really hoping that was going to happen, man.
All I know, national title game is January 19th,
That is correct.
day before Vlad's birthday.
That's how come you knew. I just thought you were gearing up for a Hurricanes party on the 19th.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a party, all right, on the 19th.
So the 19th, the semifinals are in Georgia and Arizona.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
I wish
Cool.
they could have just stayed here in Miami. That would have been nice. Okay, well, there goes that. Just win your games. That's all that matters.
And that's pretty much the only thing, man. Doesn't matter how much you win by, just win.
Come back with something or nothing here on Sports Day 104.3 FM WQAM. Before we get to Daniel Solana at 3 o'clock, he's going to be talking some Inter Miami for us. We haven't had him on in a while because it's been all about the U, baby, for the past couple of Saturdays. But Inter Miami's got a lot of interesting stuff going on, so we're going to have him on in a minute. But first, we got to get to some something or nothing, where I ask you whether it's something or nothing, and Vlad decides. Our favorite female tennis player, Coco Gauff, will be facing our second favorite female tennis player, Jessica Pegula, in the Water final in China tomorrow. Is that something or nothing?
My second favorite is Taylor Town. Yeah. Nothing to me. Nothing. Not really.
Oh man. Okay. Albert Pujols is talking to the Angels about possibly filling their managerial position.
That's something.
Or nothing.
That's something. Because usually great players are not good managers, man, or good head coaches, because they don't have the patience to see or wait to see something in a player, because they think they should be doing the things that they did, and they have to remember that they were one of ones, and everybody else is just mere mortals to them. So it's interesting. It is very interesting. I never saw Albert Pujols being that type of person to be managing after the game, especially with no head coach, no managerial experience.
And he's not even in the Hall of Fame yet because he's not eligible.
Is he not yet?
No, he's not eligible yet.
Really?
Yeah.
When did he retire?
He only retired like 2 or 3 years ago.
Jesus. They need to speed up the process, Cooperstown. But it's something. It is something to see him if he would be a manager, because he has no managerial experience and he's just going to throw him in there. But I mean, I guess if you're the Angels, you're going to do anything right.
Lady Gaga will make a cameo guest appearance in The Devil Wears Prada 2. Is that something or nothing?
I guess for the Lady Gaga Devils Wear Prada fans.
I mean, I like Lady Gaga. I like The Devil Wears Prada. What could go wrong?
Anne Hathaway's good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Anne Hathaway's always good.
So Dua Lipa, she wants HIV eradicated and says sex should be fun and safe. Something or nothing.
I agree with her in her second part, but I'm not.
You don't agree in trying to eradicate HIV?
I like to eradicate HIV, but that ain't gonna happen unless you got something.
Dua Lipa, speaking her mind. Did you hear about this? Billie Eilish got grabbed and pulled into the crowd by a fan at the Kaseya Center the other night. Something or nothing.
It's something. Everybody all of a sudden last minute, hey, you got tickets? Hey, my girlfriend wants. I don't give a damn about you and your girlfriend. Like, God calling me for tickets for your for Billie Eilish.
I wanted to go, but I was working.
Yeah, well, I know who went though. I know two of our friends that went.
I talked to them as they were pre-gaming for Billie Eilish.
So,
my dude. Jane's Addiction lead singer Perry Farrell has made an appearance on Carl Cox's song called Hoya. Something or nothing.
It's nothing to me.
Okay. Tennessee woman gives birth to a 13-pound baby. Is that something or nothing?
How big was the woman?
Normal size.
Oh, I mean, that's a big baby.
That is a big baby.
Yeah, I guess we already know in 18 years he'll be playing the offensive line for the Volunteers.
Ooh, Mario Cristobal, get him a letter of intent now.
Yeah.
Last but not least, a 29-year-old woman in England. She found her roommate dead, decided to live with her dead in the house for 3 months, but eventually did call authorities after her dead roommate's head fell off. Is that something?
Yo, hold on. Hold up.
Gotta hear the whole story.
Hold up. Somebody found their roommate dead.
Yeah, it said, it's all right.
Huh?
She said, it's all right. We're cool.
And decided to live with the person?
Yeah, just, let bygones be bygones. Let sleeping dogs lie. Not worth the trouble.
I know she's got to be the first suspect, right? Like, that's got to be the first suspect. And what happened to the lady or the roommate that her head fell off?
I mean, you never know what happens with dead people.
Nah, bro. That's something cuckoo, bro. That's something crazy.
If you meet this girl,
no, I'm not. I ain't
and she's like, yeah,
introduce.
I had a run-in with the law a couple of months ago. You're like, oh, what's up, baby?
Don't introduce, bro. Don't.
And she's like, well, see, it's a weird situation. My roommate died. You're like, okay, yeah, no big deal.
And I lived with them.
I let them live in the house for 3 months after. I didn't tell anybody, but then their head fell off, so I called the authorities.
Like, isn't there a stench?
Maybe that's how her head fell off. She was cleaning her up a little bit.
There's a stench. How can you live in a place, bro? You don't listen. You've ever had a pet?
I got 3 of them. Yeah, I got 3.
Okay,
bunnies.
you had 3 bunnies. You ever go out of town? Well, you've been out of town. You ever go for a good distance of time like you're away for maybe 3-4 hours, maybe say half a day, and your bunnies have to use,
They always do.
and how bad is that smell?
To me, it's not bad, but I understand where you're coming from. Like, yeah, like you leave your dog in the house too long and you come home one day and you're like, oh, man. You don't even have to even look around. You just know. You feel it when you walk in. So, yeah, a dead body would probably smell pretty bad.
I think.
Somebody that never smells bad and is always great, Daniel Solana from Battered Herons Podcast, going to join us next, talk a little Inter Miami as they hope to put a very nice bow on not only their season, but on a few of their legends' careers. He's next here on Sports Day 104.3 FM, WQAM. Battered Herons podcast, Daniel Solana, never afraid like us to tell you exactly how he feels. He's joining us right now, and he's going to tell us exactly how he feels online the other day following an Inter Miami loss to the Chicago Fire 5-3. You had some kind of strong comments about Lionel Messi. You standing by those comments?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon to all the listeners. Yeah, I'm standing by those comments. You know, he looked like he was disinterested in that game, but he came back after that game and had a good game after that. And there's a lot of chaos that's surrounding Inter Miami today. Well, over the last couple of weeks, fellas, you mentioned it right before you went to break, Dan. You said that Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba are no longer going to be part of Inter Miami in 2026, both of them announcing retirement. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. I think that this is a good thing for Inter Miami. I think this will allow them to push the reset button, allow them to bring in some younger, some younger legs, somebody that's going to give maybe a little bit more on the physical side than these two legends of the game have given Inter Miami over the last two seasons. But I think this season, more than the rest, we've seen Messi and friends kind of dwindle in terms of their physical progression, and unfortunately, sometimes it's the ownership's problem to say, hey, we got to take a step back and let the fans know that, hey, we made a mistake by doing this. It's been a fun 2 years, but we have to look at the future of Inter Miami, at what this project is going to be in 2026 going forward at Miami Freedom Park. And again, I think this is a positive for Inter Miami.
So, okay. You're going to get him back, right? The rumor had it, like, at least from a week ago, that the contract is there for an extension. He's agreed to it pretty much, just needs to put ink to paper. So for how long will you have him? Another 2 to 3 years, maybe? Lionel Messi.
The rumor and what was reported by the Miami Herald earlier this week was that he was going to sign a multi-year contract. I think personally that multi-year contract is going to be a 1 year with a 1 year option.
It's like the LeBron James contract in the NBA, pretty much. Like
exactly.
year with a 1 year player option where he can either get into the contract or renegotiate for another deal.
Right. And I think he was only going to have 1 more year at Inter Miami. I think 2026 will be his last year. I think he has his eyes set on the World Cup, playing the 2026 World Cup. And Inter Miami right now offers him the best chance of staying healthy, of staying fit. And
it's here. And it's also here in North America.
Correct.
Got you. So then, therefore, yeah, your boys got to go. I'm sorry. They're old and they got to go. They know that they're old. They know that they're not the same type of players anymore. And as much as it's been a I would say it's pretty safe to say it's been a financial windfall for Inter Miami. But if this guy only has 1 more year left, which is 2026, you got to start planning for the future. Because once he retires, you just can't be like, okay, well, here's Inter Miami. This is us, guys. Go root for this team. You got to give the fan base that a reason to continue the support other than watching, the sport that they love. So
100%.
I believe that this is a great planning for them for the future.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the only thing that, seems a little fishy, and obviously when there's a little smoke, there's fire, is that Jordi Alba signed or re-signed with Inter Miami a couple of months ago for an extension through 2027. So my question, to everybody, and this is really what I've been thinking about, is what changed between then and now. And of course, he came out and spoke with some local media, some local press at practice yesterday, and said that he's been thinking about it for a while, and that he just it's time and he's doing it for personal reasons. But Solana doesn't think so. I think that there's a little bit something more to this. I think something big is cooking in Inter Miami this winter. I have a feeling if they don't win the MLS Cup, there will be a new coach in town, and that's what they're getting ready to do. Is they're setting the table for this new coach that's going to be coming into town.
So, sorry, Dan. So, are you telling me that Inter Miami's low key kind of like moving the Argentine arsenal away and getting away from the, from the messiness of Messi, for lack of a better term, because
I
if
don't
all
think
his
so.
guys are kind of like being easily pushed out, or they're not upset if they want to retire, that to me means that you kind of want a new culture or a new voice or a new leader, because clearly the number 10 has been the leader of this team the last 2-3 years.
Absolutely, him along with Busquets
His
and
voice.
Alba and Suarez. But now you have Rodrigo de Paul coming in, somebody who's not part of that Barcelona squad, somebody who comes in from the Argentine national team. And so I think you're going to see something more along the lines of that in this what I'm going to call Inter Miami redemption tour, and what most are calling the Messi 2.0 project. But I think you'll see that. You'll see them bring more Argentines, more South Americans into the fold. And of course, the rumors have been out over the last 24 hours, fellas, that Inter Miami is trying to reunite the MSN, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. And Neymar, I mean, again, his contract is up at the end of the year with Santos, and he has the option to get out. So that could be a possibility. I really, really hope that does not happen, because if what you want to do is compete in the MLS, you cannot continue to bring aging superstars. If you want to continue to compete, you need to start getting younger. You need to start building around Messi and not with Messi, and start planning for the future of 2027, 2028, and what this is going to be when Messi retires.
And that's what I'm hoping you're talking about, Daniel Solana. As you say, maybe this team has a little bit of forward thinking and is saying, okay, we need to kind of shift in how we're building this team. Of course, Messi will still be here, but Alba and Busquets, you're kind of past, not kind of past your prime. You're past your prime. Maybe they're shifting their trajectory a little bit, and big things are to come. I'm not talking about Neymar. I'm talking about big things as far as like on the field play. But Daniel Solana, I want you to walk me back from the ledge on two things. Number one, we know Busquets is retiring this year. Jordi Alba's retiring. Messi's not getting any younger. So far, financially, this has been a huge success for Inter Miami. But if they do not win the MLS Cup this year, I feel as though this whole experience and this whole project, it's kind of been a failure.
I mean, it depends on the way you look at it, right? If you're the type of person who says the only way that you're going to say that this is a success is if you win trophies, and absolutely, because they, at the end of the day, only won a Leagues Cup, and that was at the beginning of Messi's run. And then they won the Supporters Shield last year, which is quote unquote, a faux trophy, right? Because it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, at the end of the day, it could be that this is an absolute disaster, and it's a not a success. But I look at it as a way of, you got to experience some of these players play where a lot of folks didn't get a chance to. If you didn't live in Barcelona, if you didn't live in Europe, you didn't get a chance to play, and you got a chance to go watch Messi play. You got a chance to see Suarez. You got a chance to see Alba, Busquets. And I mean, to me, I cannot take those memories away that I shared with my son, that I shared with my friends, going to the field and enjoying these guys. But yes, at the end of the day, to answer your question, Dan, if you are the owner of Inter Miami, yes, you might have inflated your pockets, but if you don't have a trophy at the end of the day to put into your trophy case, then it's not going to matter, in the eyes of the MLS fan.
And one more thing, if Inter Miami doesn't make some type of brave moves and make some moves towards the future, and Messi walks away and we don't really have a clear-cut plan, I hate to say, I see Inter Miami's fan base kind of reverting back to what it was before Messi.
Yeah, that's very fair to say. Very fair to say. Obviously, we know before Messi was here, it was very tough for Inter Miami to sell tickets. The stadium wouldn't get full. Once Messi came, that changed completely. But, I can tell you the Messi hype is starting to die down. I was at the game against Chicago. It wasn't that full. The tickets weren't even that expensive, guys. So I think the Messi hype is dying down, and I think that Inter Miami, again, is gearing up to bring up that hype for 2026, because they know when they open Miami Freedom Park, it can't be a stadium that only has 10,000 people in it. It needs to be a stadium that's completely sold out every single game. And so I'm of the belief that they're going to make some changes this winter. They're going to bring in some new faces. Like I said, they might bring in a new coach again. and they'll have a new outlook in 2026. Again, they'll play Champions Cup soccer, just like they did this year. They will have the MLS Cup, and they will also play, I believe, the U.S. Open next year. So a lot of football on the 2026 agenda for Inter Miami. But I don't know if you guys heard the craziness that's been going on with Messi over the last couple days.
No, I haven't heard the other craziness that was going on. I mean, I know there's a topic I will talk to you about later, but a lot of great news locally down here with soccer. But if there's some other Messi news that we don't know about, please share.
Yeah, no, it's not really news, but the fact that Messi was called to the national team and trained with the national team all week, and then as of yesterday morning, reports had come out that he was released from the Argentine national team camp to then be incorporated back into Inter Miami's team so that he could play tonight's game versus Atlanta United. He will then go back to Argentina camp and play Argentina's friendly on Tuesday against Puerto Rico. That is unprecedented. I've never heard of a player leaving their national team during a national team window to play with his club team. Now, this is
Dan
fantastic.
is happy about this. Dan is thrilled by this because Dan and I talked about this earlier. And I'm like, it's country before club, right? And he was like, well, you didn't say that during hockey. Like, well, two different sports. We know what country means to a soccer player. It means it might mean a little bit more, just a little bit more than what country means for hockey.
It might, but in this case, it's showing what Inter Miami means to Messi, right? Because he, is basically, he was at the game last night, Argentina, Venezuela. Argentina beat Venezuela 1-0. He didn't play. He was in a suite. He will play tonight. Inter Miami needs the points to continue in their seeding battle for the best possible playoff spot to then face the lowest seed team possible in the playoffs. And Inter Miami needs him. And with about 6 or 7 players already out due to international the international break, and also due to some suspensions, due to some yellow cards, they were going to be short players. So Messi took it upon himself to say, hey, I'm going to go play with my club and forego this game with my country. And to me, that just goes to show the amount of commitment and the how great of a locker room story that is, that your leader, your number 10, your captain is going to show up the day that you need him most. And he's going to be there to support you and be on the field with you.
Good PR. Good PR.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. I'm all in on that.
So, quick question. And it's kind of Messi related. La Liga's coming to South Florida December 20th for a La Liga game. That is big. That is a big, big story. Please, Daniel, explain to the masses down here what this game between Barcelona and Villarreal, I believe that's the matchup, December 20 at Hard Rock Stadium, a La Liga game that's going to count in the standings, is happening in the United States.
It's never before been done. This is the first of its kind, right? There's never been a professional league game hosted, or at least of the big 5 leagues in Europe, hosted outside in the United States. And so this is absolutely historic. Of course, we know that Hard Rock Stadium has hosted other historic matchups, such as a Clásico with Real Madrid facing Barcelona, but that was a friendly. And you knew that the main players were only going to play a certain number of minutes. And so the fact that Barcelona is coming over to here to play a game that actually means something in the standings, and they're playing against Villarreal, I expect Hard Rock to be absolutely full. I really hope that the tickets are not overpriced like the World Cup tickets have been overpriced. But it's going to be an absolute party. It just goes to show that South Florida is the mecca of soccer in the United States, because everybody wants to come and play here.
Getting back to Inter Miami, these next 2 games, Atlanta United tonight and Nashville next week, they are very important for the grand scheme of things for Inter Miami, Daniel.
100%. It means everything, right? You win these 2 games, you ensure yourself the second playoff spot in the table. You lose these 2 games, you could go as low as 5th place. And that means that you will not have home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs, which we know, gentlemen, is going to be a best of 3. So you have the opportunity to play up to 3 games in the first round, a format that we all agree we do. Well, at least Vlad and I agree that we do not like. I know Dan might like the extra game.
I'm worried about the income. I want the team to make money. Come on. No, I'm joking. Ridiculous.
It is. So they definitely want to win these 2 games. And that's why it's so important that Messi plays tonight and that they get this win tonight. It's going to be a shorthanded Atlanta team missing 7, also 7 to 8 players due to the international window, due to some injuries that they have. So, I have some people texting me saying it's going to be a Messi masterclass. He's going to have another hat trick and ensure the golden boot. We know that he's up against Denny Bouanga, who is also away on international duty representing the nation of Gabon. So he has an opportunity to do that tonight, and Inter Miami has an opportunity to hop some folks in the table, hop some teams in the table, and get as high as possible. They have the opportunity to get up to 65 points, which would put them 3 short of where Philadelphia is right now, winning the Supporters Shield. But yeah, it's a big game tonight and a big game next week against Nashville, because you might have to face Nashville in the first round of the playoffs.
Absolutely. That's what I was looking at. But I do kind of believe in a Messi masterclass tonight. I know it might be kind of quote unquote messy out there with the rain, but I do believe Messi, he's not coming off of international duty to come play with Inter Miami to not put on a show. And I do expect Inter Miami to get a win tonight against Atlanta United.
I do as well. I think, I had thought it was going to be a tie when I saw so many players were going to be missing. But now that I see that Messi is coming back, I think Inter Miami will be able to pull one away. Obviously, I never give them the clean sheet. I think at least Atlanta will score at least 1 goal, maybe 2. But I do think Inter Miami, with Suarez, with Messi, with Busquets, with Alba, possibly for the last time at home, or definitely the last time at home for a regular season game for Inter Miami, get out there and go watch them before it's too late.
Special time we're in right now. Inter Miami can hopefully continue to make it very special for us. Daniel Solana, are you going to the game tonight?
I am not. Unfortunately, I'm home alone with my son this weekend, so I will be watching the game at home. I will be doing possibly a post-game show and rooting the team away. And I just wanted to say one more thing to all my FSU fans out there. FS who?
Ooh.
They're losing right now, 27-24.
Ooh. So, Daniel Solana, people want to get some more of your soccer expertise because it is around the clock. It never stops. Please let us know how we can find you.
You can find me at Dice El Danny on all my social media. Also, you can find me on Battered Herons and on This Is Football. We release shows daily and weekly on both channels. So you can catch all my stuff on there. And I'm pretty active on X these days, fellas.
Absolutely glad to have you. Been missing you, but it's been all about the U lately. So we had a little bit of time to get some Inter Miami action in. And so we had to get our guy, Daniel Solana. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, fellas.
Talk to you next week, man.
See you.
All right. Going to come back, get you caught up with everything. Vlad will give you a scoreboard next. We'll get some headlines and we'll kind of get this show wrapped up, although we have 2 more segments. So let's hold tight and let's get it rocking and rolling next. Scoreboard on a Vladder Day on Sports Day, 104.3 FM, WQAM. Talk to me, Vlad. Scoreboard me.
That sounds crazy. But let me give you the scoreboard. We have all the noon games. They're coming towards an end right now. Minute 30 left in the fourth. Alabama's up on Missouri 27-24. Third and 3 at Missouri's 34.
Boo.
Florida State just gave up a touchdown to Pittsburgh. They're losing 33-24 in the fourth quarter.
And I hate to say this, might have been a smart thing they gave up the touchdown because at least they get the ball back, Mike McDaniel.
I don't know about that. What else is going on? Ohio State's laying the beatdown on Illinois 34-10 midway in the fourth quarter. Houston beat Oklahoma State 39-17.
What?
UCLA back-to-back wins by the Bruins. They beat Penn State last week and they beat Michigan State in East Lansing 38-13.
What happened to Oklahoma State?
They got old. They don't got that man, Mike Gundy, anymore. They had to let his ass go too. So other top 25 scores, Ole Miss is up 3 on Washington State, 17-14 in the fourth quarter. And that is it. We got, kickoffs happening in the next 10 minutes or so.
You got any other top 25? We can run through them, man.
That is the top 25 I just gave you.
Not top 25.
Oh, not top 25. Let's see who's in the not top 25 playing here. And let's see if there's some games that have ended. SMU over Stanford, 34-10.
Two teams
1
that you will
minute
play later this year.
1 minute left in the fourth quarter. Bowling Green's up 28-21 on Toledo with 2:38 in the fourth. Eastern Michigan is losing to Northern Illinois 10-6 beginning of the fourth quarter. Kent State's up 14-0 on UMass, and that's it, buddy.
Louisiana Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, losing to James Madison 21-14.
Oh, yes, I did see that. I did skip over.
And
that.
man, Cincinnati's quietly having a pretty decent
season.
Right,
they're leading 20-11 on UCF. 8 minutes left in the fourth. The Fighting Kelseys, man, they're winning.
They got a big win last week too. I remember.
Yeah, they did. Good for them,
man. Ole Miss, Washington State, two schools in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean,
Oxford, Mississippi.
Pullman is definitely in the west coast of nowhere. I don't know about Oxnard.
Oxford's terrible, man.
Oxford,
middle of nowhere, man.
Okay.
Middle of nowhere.
Wow.
So interesting. SMU and Stanford, that's important because the U will play both of those teams later this year, and Stanford's not very good. SMU looking to be pretty decent. Bowling Green has that Eddie George tie to it I saw earlier today.
Okay.
Kent State, their most famous alum, Nick Saban.
Okay.
And Florida State.
I would have said Nick Nemeth, but okay.
Yeesh. Florida State losing to Pittsburgh. All right, Vlad.
That's the scoreboard. That's the scoreboard.
I always appreciate
great games in the 3:30. There's some good games at 3:30. You got Oregon, Indiana. Indiana. That's the big one. Is our boy going to that one?
He's got to.
Zach
is covering those games.
I think Zach gave us a shout out earlier on Twitch. So
crap.
Shout out to Zach on YouTube or Twitch. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. You got Notre Dame, NC State. Iowa State takes on Colorado.
Iowa State's good. Colorado's not.
Arkansas takes on Tennessee.
Arkansas's bad.
Bobby Petrino, interim head coach
at Arkansas.
At Arkansas.
They brought him back.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Yeah,
they brought him back for the interim. Yeah, that's got bad, bro.
That's the thing, Vlad. If you live long enough, you can outlive even the nastiest of situations.
I always say, you live long enough, you'll be right.
For those that don't know, Bobby Petrino had his program at Arkansas rolling. The only team they couldn't beat was LSU, it seemed like, until he got caught on a motorcycle with a fellow coworker who was a student coworker who was not his wife, who he got into a motorcycle accident with, who he took the motorcycle and parked it somewhere and said something like somebody stole it. And they had video camera of him. It was just so nasty, Vlad. And you always said, and Arkansas didn't want to let him go, but they had to.
It was nasty work.
But now he's back.
Hey, let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, Wouldn't that have been just nasty work if Arkansas would have been like, look, we don't condone what he did, but we need to stay as a top 5 team in the country. We got.
Dude, there's a lot of things I would want to happen, like people spin around the block and just apologize. Like, for example, would Dolphins fans be upset if like Stephen Ross spun around the block and told Brian Flores, I'm sorry?
Nope, not right now.
Like, if there was a chance, like, you could let bygones be bygones. You know what? You apologize. You make a public
Both
apology.
teams just come to it.
I dropped my lawsuit. You drop and everything on me, and you give me back my job.
I think
It's
those
not going to happen. But
no.
no, it's not going to happen. But if we were living in dream world, would Dolphin fans be upset with that?
I think a majority would not be upset with that.
Okay.
At least from the Dolphins fans I've talked to. And yeah. I know, yeah. There's always that situation where it's like, man, forced my hand. Quick headlines. Mariners advance to the ALCS, defeating the Tigers 3-2.
Great game last night.
15 innings
Great
last
game.
night.
Great game.
Walk them off. Tonight, Game 5, Brewers, Cubs, 8 o'clock. Winner advances to the NLCS. U.S. men's national team tied 1-1 Ecuador. We didn't talk to Daniel Solana about the U.S. men's national team, but yeah, we'll have plenty of time in the ramping up to the World Cup as Argentina defeated Venezuela 1-0. Argentina in action Tuesday, Chase Stadium against Puerto Rico. Vlad, did you enter into the World Cup lottery for tickets?
No, should I?
I don't think it matters. I did. I've not heard anything from FIFA at all.
You know what I don't want to do, right? I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to take my dad to a game and all of a sudden officials are asking him for like his nationality and stuff like
His
that.
papers, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he has his papers and he shows his driver's license and everything. They still want to just I'm not gonna go through that. Like, you want to experience
kind of want to
this
tailgate, but it's
great event. But if it's gonna be all this like craziness, I'm good at home, bro.
So I was telling you, like, man, maybe we can tailgate for the games, but it's not like that.
No,
So
it's not.
You're better off going to a watch party or just come to my neighborhood because it's going to be wild. But
whatever location's having a watch party, because I know, like, when Argentina played in the last World Cup, there was a beautiful to see all that beautiful blue, like a sea of blue in that one watch party area in Miami.
I mean, my neighborhood was. I mean, they just
maybe your neighborhood could be, yeah.
They just had trucks with projection screens and parking lots. Like, it was just nuts. But so FIFA don't play around. Let's put it that way. We know that. You can't just quote unquote tailgate for a World Cup game. What you're going to have to do is park somewhere, a designated parking lot, maybe 5 miles away from the stadium. They're going to then
really, they don't even allow you. They don't allow you to park like you would normally park for a regular event.
No, they're going to shuttle you then to a perimeter.
No, I ain't doing that.
They're going to check you. They're going to make sure you have a ticket. Then you're going to walk through a fan zone because they got to get their money. Then you're going to go to another checkpoint. They're going to check you, make sure you have a ticket. Then you go to a place where they're going to.
Not too many checking points.
They're going to scan your ticket.
I'm going to stay home. I'm just going to stay home. You know what, Dan? Come through. We'll watch the game. We'll watch. Bring the bunnies. We'll
scan your ticket.
Too much.
Then you walk through because they want to eliminate riffraff, like that kind of happened at the
Carnival
Copa America final.
I get that, but you know what? Another thing people like to get the hell out once the game is over.
Oh, it's an all-day event. This is
I don't want to be. I don't want to wait for a vehicle to come pick me up and then shuttle me back. I want to get the hell out.
You know, something else that's very interesting about soccer. Since last hour is kind of a soccer thing. Omar Kelly, who we had on the show earlier, by the way, we'll be posting the clip. You can also go back on the rewind on the Odyssey app. Omar's like, Dan, I know you know about soccer. I'm going to be in Barcelona and Spain for the Dolphins game for like 2 weeks. He's like, find me a game. For all you Dolphins fans that are very excited to go to this Dolphins-Washington Commanders game and maybe
find you a game,
maybe catching an FC.
Hello, you TV guy, Espanol.
But I'm just saying, because he knew I knew, and I try to find him a good game. For all those Dolphins fans that are going to the Dolphins Washington Commanders game, it's going to be a trip of a lifetime. You're thinking, ooh, maybe I'll go to an FC Barcelona game or a Real Madrid game.
No, you would have to go to Madrid because that's where the game is.
Well, you might be traveling around the country. Those 2 weeks, international break.
Damn, already another international break. They're on the international break right now.
So that's why they sent him over there, is because there was no games going on and they fill the void.
That makes sense.
Like they say, God doesn't give with both hands.
We got a final.
Talk to me, Vlad.
Alabama beat Missouri 27-24. Ladies and gentlemen, Kalen DeBoer has won 2 road games against top 15 teams and has won 3 consecutive games against top 15 teams. I know he's not Nick Saban.
I was going to say, I'll bet you Bama fans are saying, Nick who?
But
Nick who?
We're too quick to put him on the foreman. But that's 3 big wins. And they're in the midst of a gauntlet, bro. A gauntlet of a schedule.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
ends. You know how that go? You know when the gauntlet ends? When they take you guys on in a couple of weeks.
We're ready for you. LSU's got a big one tonight.
Jeez.
South Carolina, the Gamecocks.
Florida State also scored.
Oh, so this game's getting close.
So it's a
bomb they threw,
3-point
too.
game.
Oh,
And
close.
Ole Miss just scored. It's 24-14 Ole Miss over Washington State in the late in fourth.
Ooh, Panthers, Ottawa Senators tonight at 7 o'clock right here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Yes, sir.
Heat tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Orlando Magic. That's preseason. Inter Miami, 7:30 tonight at Atlanta United. To make things worse, Tua is not just suffering from a hip injury, he's also suffering from a thumb injury.
Uh-oh.
But he will play tomorrow. Center Aaron Brewer, questionable. Storm Duck, questionable.
I mean, he's been questionable the whole year, but you know.
Terrell Dotson, the captain of your defense, out. Elijah Campbell, out. FAU, they will host United Arab Emirates. No, that's not. That would be an interesting game if FAU played United Arab Emirates. They're playing the University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
I don't know how good they are at football, at American football Americano.
That would have been crazy.
All right, but football America, I don't know. Yeah. Last but not least, Vlad, let's go ahead and I know. Make you laugh. Let's take a step into the day spa.
UAE? That'd have been crazy.
UAE, not UAB. UAE.
That'd have been crazy.
Why are there so many rich Saudis here? Oh, okay. Wait.
Saudi's taking over, man.
New term, Vlad.
What's the new term?
Performance males.
Performance males.
It's guys who exhibit qualities that are safe or sophisticated, like drinking lattes, doing yoga, and reading feminist books and literature in public in hopes of meeting a woman. Sounds like every guy I know, just do whatever it takes to attract women,
What's the term they use?
Performance males.
There's another term.
I mean, I think guys, but I as I was writing
It's
this,
5 letters, one word. SAWFT.
hey, I was writing this. I was like, I drink coffee.
Soft.
I do yoga.
Soft.
I was reading a self-help book the other day.
Soft.
Well, then.
Soft.
I do shots of tequila.
Soft.
I do shots of whiskey.
Soft.
That is weird when a guy comes up to me like at a bar, and I'm always out.
Bro,
talking some
coming up
flirtation.
to me and talking about like some literature, bro.
Oh, not that. But a guy will be like, yo, you want to do shots? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, they come back with like kamikazes or like, redheaded sluts. I'm like, dude, when you
Wait,
ask
they
me,
came with or they came with
they
the
come
drink?
back with the
Oh,
shots.
okay. Yeah.
I'm like, when you ask me to do shots, I'm thinking whiskey, rum, vodka, tequila,
Hennessy.
But you show up with one of those little like watered down shots. I'm like, yo,
I'm looking at you away.
yo.
Just listen. There's two ways I'm gonna look at you. You come with me with some fruity shot drink, I'm looking at you in a way. And if you come with me at Jaeger, I'm definitely looking at you at a way. Like Jaeger, I'm like, I ain't messing with you.
So Vlad, let's
You're a
say
little crazy.
you and I are hanging out tonight. We want to talk about the show. And we've been known to hang out and do some post-game shows. But let's
Post
say
shows.
we go to a bar, and I'm like, man, I could sure go for an espresso martini. And not even joking. What would you do?
I wouldn't look at you weird.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, no,
I wouldn't look at you weird.
I'd look at myself weird.
I would look at you weird if you asked for an apple martini.
Okay,
I'm like,
something out of character. Like
all right,
that.
now we're talking about 2025, right?
Yeah.
I look at you weird. Now, if this was during the Sex in the City days, I'm gonna be like, I look at you weird, but I'm like, somebody's been watching Sex in the City. All right, you got Carrie fever. I'll let you slide with this one. But 2025, yeah, I'm looking at you weird.
We used to do this like at bachelor parties. The guy that was getting married, we'd buy him like fruity girly drinks as a joke, and they'd have to drink them. But like, yeah, you're just, you're going out with a new coworker, welcome to town. And they're like, oh, can you make me a apple martini? But like, really,
I'm looking at you weird.
I don't want it strong. Don't
Oh,
make it strong.
and then if you, dude, if you order a drink and you're adding like you're ordering and making like, can you add this and take this out like it's a Starbucks drink? I'm done with you. I can't drink with you.
I'm just interested. I'm like,
I just want to just get the drink. I don't make it too strong. Get the hell out of here. No ice. And if you don't get out of here,
could I see your craft cocktail menu? Huh? I walk into bars. I don't even look around. I just go, I'll take a PBR. because almost every bar has a PBR.
You can't go wrong with ale or a PBR.
Yeah, and if they say like, we don't serve PBR, I'm like, okay,
Guinness.
whatever. Just something that's beer that has alcohol in it. Don't bring me any NA alcohol drinks.
Apple martini.
Apple.
Oh, how about when they shorten it and call it a teeny?
Teeny.
Don't tell me anything teeny.
I'll take an apple teeny.
What the hell?
I'll take an apple teeny.
How about I smack you teeny?
Take a beer and a shot.
Dude, wait a minute.
And I'll take your manhood away from you.
I mean, your manhood was already taken away if you're calling something an apple teeny. Kind of.
No apple teenies here. We're going to close out the show and get you ready for a Panthers game later on tonight here on 104.3 FM, WQAM, Miami Sports Leader. Been a very educational day.
It's my favorite part of the show. When I hear Fat Joe.
Diet Coke, right?
And then I hear
right?
Pusha.
Learned a couple of interesting things today. Don't order an apple teeny, and if you do, don't call it a teeny.
Oh, man.
Also, can't forget about Lionel Messi. Steps out of the international break back to his club team. Then we'll probably go back to his international team with Argentina on Tuesday when they play at Chase Stadium against Puerto Rico. Some other interesting things that we may have learned today. Vlad says you got to get the wings at Scarlett's and
The Mega Toots.
Cheetah, Hollandale Beach, and
King of Diamond.
everywhere, man.
Definitely got to get the jerk chicken at King of Diamonds.
But King of Diamonds does not exist anymore.
I know, but when they did,
Only in our hearts and our minds.
just in.
But
I haven't tried the food at the office.
have you been down to the Edger and James? And this actually pertains to sports, so don't get on me. This one place right down the street.
Which one? 79th?
Yeah. It's actually owned or
Black Gold?
was owned by Edger and James for a while, part owned by Edger and James.
Black Gold?
It's called One.
Oh, take one.
Take one. It
Take
just
one.
says one, but it doesn't
Oh,
say
you
take.
definitely taking one if you went there back in the days. You're taking a bullet.
I walk by it every day.
You lucky you're not there at night because you definitely gonna take one.
Yeah. Even the bouncer like at the front door kind of looks at me like,
Yeah, you
need
don't
to
wanna
walk
be here.
fast. Walk
Mm-mm.
fast.
Coco's, the old Rolex. Love
Yeah.
those parts.
So now I'm getting kind of hungry.
I'm fiending for some wings.
Now you really do need to go maybe get some wings after all that strip club talk. I shouldn't say strip
Wings
club.
and breasts. Tasty.
What do you do? Like, I guess you have to sit away from the stage when you're eating at a strip club, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to get, I'm not
you
trying
don't
to
get barbecue sauce.
I don't want to get no barbecue sauce or ranch or,
and vice
blue
versa.
cheese on them.
You don't want to get any glitter or butt makeup
I have
on
no
your
problem
wings.
having glitter or
Butt makeup?
any
What about butt makeup?
glitter, makeup, liquid. I don't have any problem if it's on me.
I never knew about butt makeup until one time I had a stripper sit in my lap, and when she got up, I was like, "Whoa, what?"
I thought you were about to say you didn't know about butt makeup on one day.
That's different. That's different than butt makeup. Well, Vlad, you might be at a strip club eating tonight. We got an 11:59 game too. Once again, Hawaii, Utah State.
That's definitely reasons to go to a strip club and watch a game.
Yeah, that's definitely.
If you want to,
I'm going anywhere to watch
enjoy
a
3
11:59
hours.
game.
Yeah, 11:59 game between Hawaii and Utah State. You said?
Yeah.
All right.
So my day is just absolutely falling apart. I decided to hang out with my friends. I have a friend from Venezuela, actually.
Oh,
Haven't seen him in a while. So I say, yo, Andres, let's get together. The Canes aren't playing. I'm probably not going to have anything to do. He said, sweet. So I was like, oh, nice day. I go see Giuseppe and Nathan, have a few beers with them.
shout out to Giuseppe and Nathan.
Oh,
man.
of course. Pre-game with them, then go across the street. Bob's your
Shout out
uncle.
to, I miss Nathan, man. What's going? Yeah.
I'm missing him too. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, man. I've been busy. I'll explain. So I was going to have a couple drinks with them pregame. Then Bob's Your Uncle, my neighborhood dive bar on the rocks. Go there with Andres, have a good time. Andres got called out to work, so he's not going out. So Giuseppe and Nathan will be there, but I just got a text. So we got a new bunny. I have 3 bunnies now,
Nice.
and I'm trying to train the new bunny. Pixie is her name.
Pixie.
I just got a text. Pixie peed and pooped on the bed. Can you wash the sheets?
Why can't she wash them?
So
I mean, you're at work. How are you supposed to wash them? Like what? She can't wash them?
Wait,
And how did they know that Pixie pooped and urine on the bed?
This is the thing about Pixie. Yeah, that's it too. So this is the thing about Pixie. The other 2 rabbits, Winter and Rami, are not big rabbits. So, they can't really get in the bed without assistance and stairs. Pixie is an English Rex, which I don't really know anything about, but she's bigger. So she can jump from the floor to the bed, and she's very inquisitive. And apparently she's very full of urine and poop, and she pooped all over the bed.
That's cool. I get that. How did the person find out? Whoever that is, I don't know. I'm not saying your girl or whoever's there. How did this person find out, and why are they telling you got to clean it if the person found out and can't? Why aren't they able to clean it?
You would think be proactive and go ahead and wash the sheets, but so
Because I mean, you're still working for another hour and a half.
that they know about. No, so I guess I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go home. So what this does now is I gotta try to wash the sheets. I'm gonna watch football, drink beer, and then stumble over to Giuseppe and Nathan's, and then stumble home.
It doesn't sound exciting, man.
Not the night I envisioned.
Mm-mm.
Not the night I envisioned. But tomorrow though, we got a big one. Game Day Uncensored starts the pregame 9:00, leading you up to the game. We got a postgame for 1 hour, starting at around 4:00 whenever the game ends. It could be exciting. It could be thrilling. We also have tomorrow night a Heat game tonight, Panthers game, 7:00 against the Ottawa Senators. But more importantly, Vlad, what strip club are you going to?
I'm going to the Panthers game.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a strip club.
Whoever texts Vlad or tweets Vlad at Vlad2078 and said they they're looking out for Vlad, I'll go to any of the strip clubs.
Okay. If worse comes to worse,
Any of the aforementioned strip clubs.
yes. If worse comes to worse, you're not far from Duffy's and Plantation. Just go. Down,
I'm never far from
grab
Duffy's.
grab yourself something nice. And when I say grab yourself something nice, like some food or some drinks.
Oh, I thought you were calling me Sabrina.
Okay. I'm not even going to finish the statements that I was making because it got too complicated. But yeah, so we have a lot going on tonight. The Canes are off. They will be back Friday. Remember, Friday, 3:00.
So that means we're on next Saturday.
Next Saturday, we will be on for 4 hours, loud and proud. But then Sunday, the Dolphins are playing, so we won't be on. We will not be on tomorrow. Once again, I'll be doing. Well, we'll have you and I in a different version of ourselves, where I'll be hosting the post game, and hopefully, we'll have enough time to get some sound or some words from you from the locker room.
Oh, that tells me I have to give. Oh yeah, I have to send you that immediate.
Yeah, tell them to be spicy with their responses.
Well, it depends. The game might be a quick game. It might end at 3:45.
Poke the bear a little bit for me, Vlad.
You want me to poke the bear? All right.
This last segment is just really going off the rails.
Oh, actually, we are not on next Saturday.
Where are we?
We are not on. The Panthers are playing the Buffalo Sabres at 1 p.m. next Saturday.
Okay.
So we are not on.
Do we know if we are going to be behind the scenes in that game? Because that makes me very nervous.
That's a pretty damn good question there, Mr. Day.
Because there's a whole lot of planning and fun activities that we could plan for a day.
No, if we're both not working that day, we definitely can go chill and
Rose the Sky happy hour.
People can meet us and have a Panther watch party. You see how we work? You see how we come up with things?
We can still do the show online too, because we can just put the video on and do the Panthers watch party, and it'll be unfiltered. I'll tell you that, because
I'm liking your style, my guy.
There could be some drinks. There could be us watching a game. We're not going to do play-by-play, but we'll just definitely give you some insight into a Panthers game that maybe no one else would give you.
Let's see who's working that game.
It's probably not me. I looked already. I didn't think I saw myself.
Yeah, it's not you. It's me.
It is you, really?
Yeah. But it makes no sense because they say Sports Day and then Panthers.
Oh, I think we do an hour.
How we doing an hour?
No, we're doing 30 minutes. I forgot. We're doing 30 minutes.
Oh,
that's not even a joke. That's not a joke.
I know you're joking.
That's not a joke.
I know you're joking. I know you're joking.
30 minutes.
Dan, are you telling me we're doing a 30-minute show before a game?
Yes, sir. It makes sense though, because
it doesn't.
I'm going to be here for Panthers Insider and Heat Weekly.
That's great, and I'm only here for a game that
game.
starts at 1 p.m. So isn't there a pregame show at 12:30?
Yep, 30 minutes of.
So what's the point of me doing 30 minutes of it? Man, I ain't doing no 30-minute
Open the show with Diet Coke.
I might as well. Don't waste my time.
What did Jay-Z say? Grand opening, grand closing.
Shoot, it's not even an opening.
Welcome to Sports Day. We got a big sports day. It's
Bye.
so big. The Panthers are going to be on next. Thank you.
And then, the numbskulls are going to think that, it's a Canes game, so they're going to put Canes commercials on. Man, get out of here, bro.
So 30 minutes next week, although with commercials, it'll probably be more like
2 minutes,
24 minutes. And with maybe Heat Weekly running a little bit late, down to a grand total, 3 minutes.
All you're going to hear is, hey, it's Dan with my cousin Vlad. The show's over.
Let's
get ready for Panthers hockey.
I make you a promise. Next week's 30-minute show is going to be like none other.
Yeah, because they'll be
it's not going to be about sports. It's not going to be about anything. I'm literally, Vlad.
Fam, I'm to let you know right now.
I'm doing it. Stream of thought.
Nah, because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to the Canes game Friday night.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm going to Plantation to come check you out at Duffy's before it shuts down.
I'll be there.
And then I'm going to continue partying afterwards. Because I don't got to be sober until 12:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon. I'm not coming for no 30-minute BS. Bro.
I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, you're already here, but I'm not coming for 30 minutes of BS.
Maybe Tommy Tig will hang out with me.
Maybe.
Tommy and I will extend Heat Weekly, except
maybe
I'll have more of a speaking role in it.
30 minutes. Get the hell out of my face with that BS, man.
30, 30 minutos.
Anyway, but Mike, have a great day today.
Let's go. Don't let them rain on your parade.
Don't let them rain on yours. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your,
go Panthers.
Lay your bets and win. Go Panthers. Go into Miami. And we'll talk to you sometime soon.
Yep. For my cousin Vladimir Lusso, I am Dan Day. 30 minutes next week.
No 30 for Vlad.
This has been Sports Day on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Later,
slugs.